here at Warren Field, Brawley, California, where your Brawley Wildcats will take on Calexico Bulldogs. With me today with your play-by-play is Coach Ron Rubio, 1981 graduate of Brawley Union High School. Not only was he graduate from Brawley Union High School, he was also All-League on the offense and All-League as a defense on both his junior and senior years. On top of that, he is an inductee to the Hall of Fame. 5 years ago, he got inducted. So, and it's been a great pleasure to work with them. Ron Rubio.
Welcome, everybody, to Warren Field tonight. It's senior night for the Brawley Wildcats as we're heading into the home stretch, Will. Here it is. And as we said, as the saying goes, it's the calm before the storm.
And that's one of the moods that we're in right now, Ron. It is the calm before the big storm, because as we look at tonight, it's also parent night tonight. So we got a lot of parents out in the field, and the whole ASB is out there, along with the whole cheers out there, as the Wildcats get ready to go back into their. Right before they go into their pregame routine, the Wildcats will be taking the field right now. And one thing I want to talk about, it being senior night, Ron. Listen, I want to talk about some of the seniors that will be graduating from this year's class and the impact they've had on the Brawley football team. So as I'm going to leave the skill players for Ronnie, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start mentioning some of the linemen that I think are probably the heart and soul, as we always have on the Brawley Wildcat team each year. They're the heart and soul, meaning because Brawley always seems to ground and pound. You know what I mean, Ron? And it starts with them linemen up front. So graduating this year, man, this is by no means we got a big game next week. Whatever happens here, we're going to be there. We're going to play. So I'd like to introduce some of the seniors right now, starting with number 32, Julio Reyes. He's a defensive back. Number 39, he's been a great kicker, done an excellent job for the Wildcats in the kicking department. That's Xavier Pereira, number 39. Number 42, one of my favorite. He's just your typical big guy, tight end, catches, got good hands. You know, it was his first year playing, Ron, but he did an excellent job. That's number 42, Jesse Gutierrez. And you can't say enough about, well, I'm going to leave number 44 for you, ma'am. So let's go down to the nose guard position, number 52. Omar Chavez. Now, Omar Chavez, that guy, he might not be your biggest D lineman or your biggest old line, but let me tell you, man, he makes it up with the quickness and his strength, Ronnie. Then we're going to shoot over to Sebastian Torres. He's on the offensive line. He's one of those guys that comes in and he plays every position on the offensive line. Great job for him. Next to him is number 54, Dominic Santana. He's the center right there, and he also plays on the defensive line and the D tackle position. Coach John Self, especially in the Imperial game, he had these guys rotating in and out a lot. So he'll be leaving us. This will be his senior year. Number 58 on the defensive side of the ball, Arturo Rios. One of those other players that comes in, puts in his time, puts his nose into the ground, and is just one of those run-stopping type of guys. And number 79, Javier Martinez. He goes both ways, Ronnie, man. That guy's just one of those guys. He's reliable. He's dependable. He's had a great year, both offensive tackle and defensive tackle. And then can't say much about big Daniel Coloca, number 78. This guy, at the start of the season, they were already looking at him, Ron, and places to go. And let's see, hope he's fortunate enough to have all the planets aligned and everything worked out, so he ends up playing college somewhere, Ron. And so, we wish – and he's one of the handful of people that the senior class has brought on. It's a big graduating class, Ronnie, on top of that. So, just want to give a big next week we're going to be really busy, and I just thought I'd give a shout-out to all the seniors that are out there. And Ron's going to go ahead and he's going to give some Ronnie's got a special relationship with the skill back, so I'm going to let Ronnie take over on that one.
Well, before we head on to the other side of the roster, as you said, we're going to go straight down the line and we're just going to go in numerical order. Right now, the number two, very special place in my heart and a lot of the fans out here. Didn't play it down for us this year, but let me tell you, Jacob Ramirez, number 2, came out, had a accident prior to the season starting. That set the motion for the whole season. But this kid never let down. He's he's out of a cast. He's doing well. So Jacob Ramirez was our starting quarterback in JV as a sophomore. Was a very good. Came in last year and played the last 4 games as starting quarterback as Casey Klein was out. And as I said, he gave way to Ethan Gutierrez due to the injury. So Jacob Ramirez, thank you so much for your service. Next thing I want to talk about is number 4, J.J. Fernandez. J.J. Fernandez this is his second year playing football for the Wildcat program. He's a senior, plays safety, plays wide receiver. He is a basketball player as well on the varsity basketball team. J.J. Gutierrez is, like I said, this is his first varsity year, second year in the program. Good football player. Next, Joel Murillo, number 5, a kid transfer from Imperial High. Joel Murillo, track man. Coached him in track. He is a split end cornerback. Filled in very well when Fernandez went out. And now Murillo stepping in very well with some timely catches during the season. Joel Murillo having a very good year. Next guy I'd like to speak about is Carlos Alvarado, number 8. Carlos Alvarado, defensive back, wide receiver. First year playing for the Wildcats. Very dependable reserve. And we'll see Carlos tonight. Also out there, Nathan Torres, number 12. Jack of all trades, Nathan Torres. You ask him to play defensive line, he'll do it. Ask him to play center, he'll do it. But he's been known to be one of our best, if not our very best defensive back. Can play running back, can play quarterback, can play receiver. Like I said, he could do it all. Nathan, thank you so much for your service. Next, let's go with Javier Calles. Javier Calles, a tight end, number 18. Javier Calles. Javier Calles has played 2 years in the program, played as a sophomore on the JV, and now he's out here on the playing a senior year out here. So congratulations, Javier. Thank you for completing your service with us. Next, Julian Camargo, number 20. Julian's another 4-year kid. Played since a freshman year, JV. This is his second year on the varsity, doing very well, coming in, playing some good times at defensive back and wide receiver. Next, Damian Reyes, number 21. What can you say about Damian? 3-year varsity player. Never played JV. He was one of the kids that played solid varsity football since his sophomore year. Congratulations, Damian. This is your night. Do well. Next, Adrian Chavez, number 22, Rocket Man. IVL 100-meter, 200-meter track champion. What does he do for our Wildcats? He is our wide receiver, slot, running back, and one of our shutdown corners. We match him up against all the best receivers that we play against. That's Adrian Chavez. Next guy on the list is, and I believe that's it, Danny Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez, tight end, number 26. Danny Rodriguez, 3rd year in the program, played 2 years of JV, played as a sophomore, junior on the JV, floated up to the varsity last year, senior this year. Danny Rodriguez, good luck tonight, and let's go Wildcats.
You know, one guy that was left on my roster that I wanted to make sure
that's sir. Number 44, before I forgot it, Will was doing the other side. Now, number 44, how can we leave him out? The freight train, the locomotive, the Mack truck, the running refrigerator, whatever you want to give that kid. And that's, everybody knows who I'm talking about. It's number 44, Blake Craigbaum. We saved the best for last. That kid's been playing fullback, been playing linebacker all 4 years. And tonight, he's going to end this. I don't know, Will, could this be Brawley's last home game? We're not sure of that. So tonight is a very special night for the seniors. Could it be their last night playing on Warren Field? Could be, may not. But that's what those are our seniors, and that's a little bio on them. Will, what do you have for them?
Well, one of the ways I can answer that question, if it's going to be their home game, next week they got to do their job, Ron. If they come out of there with the win, Ron, they will have a home game. If they come out of there with the win. Now, will they have a bye? I don't know about that. I don't know. It depends on the other 4 teams ahead of Central. Right now, Brawley's ranked 6th. Central is ranked 5th. And we want to be in that hilltop, that number 2 ranked team, and face that with who they have ranked number 1. We want to be in that other bracket. But it all depends. It's all going to come down the next week.
Right.
The mood right here, right now, as even me and Ron feel it, it's not so much that we're thinking ahead. The things that we have to do tonight, Ron, and you know what, before we talk about tonight's game, I would like Ron to recognize some of the coaches that are on the coaching staff here, including Selves and including Rick Rubio's squad, and also Sheldon Schoonovers. And a guy that's on hands with that all the time is, that's one of the reasons we got Coach Ron up here, man. He's very good at that. So we're going to give a little bio, a little introduction to all the coaches. We'll start with the freshman squad there.
The freshman squad coming up to the booth right now, and these are the guys that are You know, they're kind of like unsung heroes. They're in the booth. They're on the headsets with the coaches on the sidelines, and that's Robert Marquez. Robert Marquez is a defensive coordinator on the freshman staff, and he's with his head coach, Sheldon Schoonover. Sheldon and I go way back. Sheldon's been on our staff for over 20 seasons, so doing a good job along with them in the booth is my head coach, my boss, Rick Rubio. Rick Rubio is our JV head coach, and he's up here. He's on the set with Brandon Young. So as we go through the staff that's on the field, that's our booth coaches. Now, on the field coaches, we have Marshall Tagebon. Marshall Tagebon in his second year as defensive back and wide receiver coach. He's along with Ray Van Diver, offensive line and defensive line coach. Ray's been with us for over 10 years now, 10 seasons. And our offensive coordinator in his second year doing a very, very good job right now. That is Brandon Young. Brandon Young is a Brawley High graduate, went to St. Mary's, had a very good career in college, and now he's over here back home calling plays for our head coach, John Self. And right now, it's glad to see old man Self here. We call him old man Self. That's John's dad. Very good to see him walk out with Chandler. So, as we said, kind of a sentimental night.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said, I still feel it's a calm before the storm. Next week's going to be crazy, win or lose. And, you know, it's just kind of getting to that point where this game is very important for us. It's important for the Wildcats to get off to a good start. Let's get out of here with the win and hope nobody gets hurt.
Well, that's one of the key things we're going to need out of tonight's game, Ron. One of the things that the Wildcats have to do, Ron, they have to continue what they've been doing the past previous games. Ever since, you know, they had those couple of losses in Yuma, and then they came down here, and in the first quarter, they have been dominant in the first quarter, Ronnie.
Right.
And, you know, they have been scoring. I mean, in Southwest, just if you take example of Southwest last week, the score was 24-0 in the first quarter. Prior to that, they even in the Imperial game, Ronnie, they had Imperial. I believe the score was 21 to.
We had a 16-0 lead at half, so we started out fast.
Yeah, it started off fast, and that's the kind of mentality that Self had wanted. But what he wants to do, when I was talking to him, it's not that they slowed down. I mean, he's been playing some good teams, though, Ron, so they're going to put up a good defense. But one of the things that he wants to keep doing is he wants to just keep that metal on the pedal, and he doesn't want to let go of the gas. Because once you take them out in that first quarter, you take them out mentally and you take them out physically, and that's the way you're going to control the ball game. You know what? We'll leave the second and the third quarter after the half to start controlling the ball and pound them on the ground. That's one of the things that Self wants to do is control the clock in. But with the new attitude that he has installed with Brandon Self under Self's offense here, it's got a new little attitude, and it's got a little spunk to their walk, if you would say, you know, Ron. So that's one of the great things that I've noticed about the class this year, that they start out pretty fast, Ron.
It's fast. It's a fast type of football, and that's what everybody's trying to do. Whether we're spread, we've opened up our formations. We're now not longer just a tight set or double wing. We spread them out, and the fortunate thing is we have a kid that can sling that ball, and Ethan Gutierrez. So that's changing the environment a little bit on our offensive side right now.
Most definitely. And you know, as much as we want to talk about that freshman kid, one of the reasons is tonight is senior night, so Ethan Gutierrez has 4 more years. I mean, I wouldn't even call him a freshman anymore, Ron.
No, he's not.
Hey, he might be by class a freshman, but he's took control of the squad since early in the season. And by doing that, the guy's at varsity level now, Ron. So as you're watching right now, you're watching our Wildcat band preparing to do our national anthem. And the sound we get out of here is very good, so we're going to pause for them to play that right now. And that was our beautiful band, the edition of our national anthem. And before they get off the field, we'll be right back after this commercial.
Broadcast rights to this BUHS contest has been granted to VSN, Valley Sports Network by Brawley Union High School District and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Brawley Union High School District is prohibited.
This live video broadcast is brought to you by Vesey & Company out of Hopeville. Vesey & Company, supporting Imperial KC Welding and Rental Farm Supply. Located
Welcome back, everybody. As we have our band still playing right before the kickoff, we have, well, the game should be starting any minute now. Tonight's referee is going to be Mr.
Gene Martin.
That's Mr. Gene Martin out in the middle of the field. In the middle will be Mr. Matus. On the flank is Victor Padilla, longtime referee. On the other side of the flank will be Binkins.
Nate Beakins.
Nate Binkins. And as your back judge tonight, I do not know who that is, but those are your officials for tonight. Talk about a little bit about Calexico, Ron.
Well, Will, as we look across the field and we look at the number of kids on the sideline, you see Coach John Tyree, a legendary coach. Calexico has fallen on hard times. It's just, let's face it. You have a school of over 3,000 kids, and you have a limited number of kids on the varsity. You can't field a JV team, but tonight they're going to come out here in typical Calexico fashion and give us a fight. I have no idea what their record is. I know that they're 0-3 in league. 0-3 in league. They had a tough fight against Palo Verde last week, and they lost 28-0. So now they come into the Wildcat Den, and now they're about to face Brawley with their – we'll see a triple – we're going to see triple option. That's their offense. They run a 4-2-5 on defense. As I said, they're not very big. They usually field a good-sized offense and defensive line. We'll see about that tonight. So what do? When you're undermanned, you just got to come out fighting. So that's what the Wildcats going to face tonight, a little hungry bunch of Bulldogs. It looks like we're going to be ready to go, rock and roll. Xavier Parade, get ready to kick.
One of the things, Ronnie, me and you had the pleasure of watching, we actually attended a freshman game from Calexico Bulldogs and the Imperial Tigers at Imperial Field. And one thing they didn't lack, Calexico Bulldogs, Ronnie, was size. And they had good speed. Actually, that game was pretty good up until the first half, and Imperial started taking over. One of the things that I've always noticed about Calexico, and then I'll mention it really quick, is they're very raw. They're very inexperienced. They don't have that Pop Warner team and all that stuff right there. So that's one of the things that hurts them when they get to the freshman level, that they don't have the experience. So here we go, Ron. Let's start off with the kickoff. Brawley Wildcat here.
Heredia set to kick, and it's going to go to the right of Calexico, and he stalled at the 5. That's number 26. Heroes Pradas takes it up to the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 20.
And that's our main man, number 52, coming in there for the tackle from that position on the kickoff team there, Ron.
Omar Chavez. Omar Chavez hustling down on kick coverage. So it's going to be a 1st and 10. The ball's going to be on the right hash next to the Calexico bench.
Excellent kick by Pereira, and that's one of the things that he's been doing, Ron. I mean, look, when they're getting the ball to the 20-yard line and they're taking it out, Ron, I mean, that's perfect for us because there's a chance of a fumble. There's a chance of it being inside the 20. So excellent job by our kicking team right there.
Calexico comes out in shotgun formation. Double doubles, man in motion. They fake, they give, he's looking, and that's number 13. Havoc Morales. Morales, I thought it would be Luna. Cesar Luna was their starting quarterback. Now they're going with Havoc Morales. Morales had the man in motion. They're going to lose 5 yards on that play.
Well, one of the things on that, Ronnie, did you see how our outside linebacker, and I was trying to keep an eye on the quarterback, and the guy stayed with them all the time. The quarterback had nobody to throw to, so he tried to go back the other way. And by that time, Omar and 21 Chavez on the other side had him just wrapped up around him. Number 9, Nathan May.
Morales is a quarterback. He's back there with Chris Gonzalez, number 27, and fake is at 26, and he gives to number 27 up the middle, and that is Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets some of that 5-yard loss back, maybe 3, maybe 4. It's going to be, yes, he got 4. So now they're facing a 3rd and 11. The ball's going to be in the middle of the field. Now, if you're live streaming, watching us on video, that's great. Thank you very much. But we will be broadcasting as though it's just pure audio. Right, Will?
Yeah, one of the things is people still listen to us in their driving position. So Ronnie will explain the formations as it is audio. So we kind of like it that way. Me and Ronnie decided that we prefer to have Ronnie do that for some of the people that are just driving. So that's one of the reasons you will see Ronnie explaining the formations.
Here we go. Double doubles, a little change. I thought I'd see them in a tight set. It's not. 2 receivers to the right, to the middle of the field. Motion number 3. And that's going to get that was number 3, Frank Rosiles. Looks like we have a motion penalty.
Yeah, no, it's going to be against the Wildcats.
Oh, wow, offsides.
Yeah. No, it's that was Chandler Self coming in, crossing the line of scrimmage on the left side from his outside linebacker position.
So that's going to make it a 3rd and 6, middle of the field. Let me tell you, Calexico's not that bad when they're clicking on offense. Against Imperial 2 weeks ago, they took that first drive of the game. They drove on Imperial 80 yards all the way down to the 10-yard lines, and then things fell apart on them. Okay, here we go, middle of the field. As we said, 3rd down and 6. Morales is a quarterback, shotgun formation. Motions to number 3. That's Frank Rosiles. It's a bad snap, and it's going to be recovered by Omar Chavez, and he's just going to walk in. Bad snap. Instead of just dropping on it, he should have just fell on it. Instead, he tried to scoop it up. And with the great hustle, that's what great hustle does to you, Will. You put you in a spot. That's what Omar Chavez just did right now.
Well, one of the things that's going to happen, you had Chandler Self running in there just trying to pick it up and move it, and he was not able to get it. And then you had Nathan May also trying to get it. And by the time anybody got it, Omar Chavez was already in the end zone.
Omar Chavez figured it out, scooped it up, ran it in, and that's his whole. Congratulations, Omar. That's probably your first touchdown of your football career.
And one of those well-deserved.
Right.
One of those well-deserved.
It's like a cherry on top, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those kids that deserves it, you know.
There you go.
He's just hustling all the time, Ron. That's one of the things he does great. He just hustles. He's around the ball all the time.
And here we go, Heredia. I wish we had the stats. This kid's near perfect. If not, he's over 90% on PATs. Struggled a little bit last year, but right now, man, he's hitting everything. There was a great snap, good hold, perfect kick. Brawley Wildcats 7, Calexico Bulldogs 0 with 9:55 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's what the Wildcats need right now, Ronnie, to actually score from all levels. Now we need to score from the special teams, especially on the offense, and just keep that ball going towards the plate. You can't go into next week, Ronnie, on a down note. Everything has to stay positive, and we have to stay healthy. So as the Wildcats get ready to kick off, I'd like to announce some upcoming events we got going on. If you guys ever get a chance, please go to vsnsports.net. That's our website, and it usually has updated videos from our Facebook and our YouTube page. And now we're going to go ahead and go with the Brawley kickoff.
Paredes set to kick. Back to receive was 26. That Heros Pradas, P-R-A-D-I-S. And that's Pradas going to let it go all the way into the end zone. So that's a perfect weapon right there. Kick that ball in the end zone, make everybody start at the 20. I love that.
Yeah, that's one of the things he does great that we talked about earlier. And while we have a moment, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors. Elms Equipment for tonight's game. They are in Brawley and El Centro, and they do more than just equipment rentals. They have a large fleet of heavy haul trucks and travel nationwide. They also recycle base, asphalt, and will deliver to your job site or homes. Elms also accepts concrete and asphalt in Brawley and Imperial. You can call them at 344-3780 or 353-4400 and see what Elms can do for you.
Havoc Morales back in shotgun formation. They're in double doubles. And what they're trying to do is spread out the Brawley defense with their undersized. So forget the tight set, which brings in all your big boys. You spread them out, and now you have to defend them. So you got to walk out. If they have 2 on one side, 2 on the other, that's 4. Illegal procedure. Gene Martin signals illegal procedure. That's their second one of the game. Now, when you're the underdog, Will, and you cannot, and now we have a timeout.
That'll be a timeout against
the Bulldogs.
Be called by the Bulldogs here, and Ty Reed's calling this timeout early. Either Ronnie, do you think he sees something that he can adjust, or is he just going to get these guys and tell them, hey, look, you need to settle down, calm down, let's go through the motion, let's just pick up things where we're at, and let's just move forward on this, because they had a bad snap, okay? To tell you the truth, they had a perfect defense called on that swing pass. So that's Ty Reed going to go in there and try to calm them down. And, hey, guys, let's just come in here. Let's get through the night, and let's just, keep it going from here, Because really, Ron, what else are you going to tell the Bulldogs after, with 3 minutes gone in the game and they're already down 7-0?
Down 7-0, and you get that feeling, here we go again. So they're going to take a deep breath. They're going to stay in double doubles. The ball's in the middle of the field. The ball pushed it back to the 15-yard line. Morales is number 13. He is their quarterback. He's a senior, 5'9", 145. Motion's number 3. And that's a give to 27 across, and I believe that is number 27, Chris Gonzalez. Chris Gonzalez, tough little running back. I've seen film on him. The kid ran very well against Palo Verde. Ran well versus Imperial. Gets a couple of yards on that carry.
That's a co-op tackle by Nathan May and Chandler Self just to get him enough in there. I mean, they really didn't even – he was only able to get back to the line of scrimmage back there right now.
So what Brawley defense wants to do is prepare for next week. Well, right now you take care of business. Take care of what's in front of you. We're not looking ahead.
Even though we're thinking it, though. I
got to catch myself. Here we go.
Yeah.
Second down and 14. The ball is at the 16-yard line. Morales is the quarterback, kicks him in motion. Fakes. He's looking to his right. He's rolling to his left. He's in trouble. He's being chased by Santana. Flag on the field. Brought down by number 41.
Yeah, Chandler Self and Nathan May are having a game. Both are getting to the quarterback early. Now, when we see a flag thrown from the umpire in that position, it's usually a hold against the offensive team. So, I mean, I don't know if Self is going to put him half the distance. Nah. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's just going to decline it and make it a third down. Third and about 13, Ron.
3rd and 13.
While we have a little bit of moment, I also like to give thanks to some of our people that believed in us and are supporting us. Radfin at Driscoll's, your one-stop shop for all your tackle and apparel. Go to Radfin. Visit Dustin there.
Double doubles again to give us to 27. That is Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to be busy. He'll be busy. That's a little what they're trying to do is they fake that motion guy like he's going to sweep, but also give the handoff there. It's a timing play, which they run pretty well. It gets it back up to the line of scrimmage. Well, at the start at the 20. So it's going to be 4th down and 10 from the 20. Pump formation for the Bulldogs.
One of the things I saw the Calexico Bulldogs, they were pulling 2 people, Ron.
Yeah, they're trying to pull. Back to punt is Eugenio Fernandez. Back to punt. He's standing at the 5. Back to receive is
Ethan
Torres at the 40. And looks like Damian Reyes at the Brawley 40. Another flag.
So we're going to have illegal substitution against the Bulldogs.
Too many men on the field.
Yeah, they went out there with 12, which is
These are the kind of penalties that kill you. This is their 3rd penalty, 2nd possession. They've had two procedure penalties. Now too many men on the field. These are the things you need to knock off. Here we go. Back to punt. He's standing at his goal line. Torres and Reyes at their 45. It's a nice punt. It's Torres fielding it at the 48, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10. Tries a cut, and great tackle by 87. Boy, I bet you Nathan's going to regret that little cut move there. He should have just probably cut it back. Stumbles forward to the 9-yard line. Should have had it, but, well, Brawley's going to start at the 8-yard line.
What we saw was Nathan Torres run up there with one guy to beat, Ronnie, and he juked right, he juked left, and I think his last choice was just to go try to bull him over, and it was actually a great tackle by number 87 of the Bulldogs. But that's one of the things we're looking at, Ron, for the Wildcats to score in all phases of the game, special teams, offense, and defense. We already got a defensive now, so let's try to get this offense. I don't even care if it's a field goal. We even need to score on the field goal side of the ball.
Tight formation. Ethan Gutierrez under center. And here we go. Might be Brawley, who we're not too sure.
It looks like it might be against the Bulldogs, a dead ball foul. So, Ronnie, the thing – now, that's the 4th penalty, and it's, you got your 4th game in the season. You had your 4 preseason games. Last week I understood that wind was blowing. I mean, I can see the people jumping off sides, but, this is a little too much coming out of the Bulldogs.
And there it is, their trademark off to the left. That was Craig Baum. They're not going to give it to him.
We got a fumble on the play here, Mr. Ron Rubio. It looks like right before he crossed that goal line, Craig Baum was stripped of the ball, and the Calexico Bulldog was able to recover it.
You're kidding. Well, It looks like that's what happened, and that's what happened. So we had a short field. Brawley had a short field. They did not cash in on the great punt return by Torres.
That's where that 20/20 vision comes in right now, Ronnie.
That's where it comes in. Well, the ball's at the 1-yard line. They have 99 yards to go. Ball will be on the left hash. They're going to still stay in this double-double set. This is a little trick. I know that Brawley prepared for double wing, triple veer option. We haven't seen any of that yet. They give us to Gonzalez trying to get out of the end zone. I don't think he's not.
No, he will
He's
not be out of the
and
end zone.
I don't know.
Mr. Padilla's marking him inside the.
And it is a safety.
Yeah, it'll be a safety. He's marking him inside the goal line right there.
No push by the offensive line of the Bulldogs, and that led to the penetration. I'm not sure who got the tackle, but it was a couple of Wildcats in there. Stop Gonzalez. And that's going to happen. I mean, you're receiving the ball in the end zone. You're not blocking that well, and that's the end result, safety.
Brawley's defense is playing good, but the one thing I don't want to see, Ron, I don't want to see the Wildcats play to the level that the Bulldogs are playing.
No.
Because if we start to play at that level, we start to play a little bit of flat, and we start to play a little bit of relax, and we don't get that practice that we need playing that high intensity. Because with the rules now that we have during practice, Ron, it really there's only certain days you can go full gear. There's only certain days that you can go full speed. So we need this game, and we have to step it up. We can't let whether it's the Bulldogs or anybody else, it doesn't matter who it is, we can't play down. We have to just play our Brawley's aggressive style of offense and defense.
Our brand of football. Okay, well, let's explain. Why are we kicking from the 20-yard line following the safety?
So they have a choice on a safety, Ron. They can either kick off or they can punt from the 20-yard line, and with Brawley getting the ball back on a safety call.
And there's the punt. And Chandler Self's looking at it bounce. He picks it up, or does he? Yes, he does. And he will be brought down by a host of Bulldogs. So good coverage, good punt. They punted from their 20, got it across all the way to the Wildcat 43-yard line. Brawley had trouble fielding the ball. Picked up by Chandler Self, unable to advance it any further. But Great field position. I'll take that. 43-yard line.
It is a pretty good field.
44-yard line, middle of the field.
We're going to go back to the safety. So your question was why is the ball being kicked off on the 20? And I'm just noticing, Ronnie, the place where they tackled him and they gave him the forward motion was still in the end zone. We never saw the referee signal, safety.
The white hat did.
Yeah, but, when you're looking at the flank
Right.
officials, the only guy that's doing it, and maybe that's a new mechanic, I don't know, but it's one of those things that we would like to see where everybody knows, hey, it's a safety, boom, All right, with the Wildcats, with the ball being placed on the 39-yard line, 7:28 left to score, 9-0. Your Wildcats leading the ball game.
Ethan Gutierrez, shotgun formation. He's at the 50. He takes it to the 40. 35 being brought down at the 34-yard line. So we lined up in shotgun formation. We got trips to the right. Spread out the defense, trips to the right. And then Ethan it's quarterback keep, 16 power. Up to the right side. So let's see Brawley if they could get a drive going here. They have only had one play of offense so far.
Yeah, and that was number 3.
That was number 2, I believe. The fumble by Craig Baum, that was it. It's the only time we had the ball, 7:04 remaining. So we have a 1st and 10 at the Calexico Bulldog 30. I'm going to give them 34-yard line, right hash, shotgun formation, 2 receivers. No, I'll make that. Check that. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. And that's a pop pass to Chandler Selvin. He can't handle it. A little bit out of reach, but make a catchable ball. Good effort. I like that little wrinkle there. Let's see which we come back to it. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 10.
No, I definitely believe they will come back to it, Ron. That's just one of those things I like to see. It reminds me of that old tight end pop.
And it's
one
just
of my favorite plays.
He just lined up a little bit more to the outside, away from the lineman, and it's perfect. One of the best football plays ever. Here we go. So good to see number 4 back in action. That is J.J. Fernandez. J.J. Fernandez lined up to the right, trips to the left. Single back is Craig Baum, shotgun formation. Gutierrez looking to his left. He's rolling. He's still rolling. 30. He's going to run. 30. 25. We have double flags on the field. Who knows what happened. But look, we have somebody down. That looks like Chandler Self.
Chandler Self now. He's just an aggressive guy. So after Ethan Gutierrez took off running, he was past the line of scrimmage. You're going to see Chandler Self just looking for color to knock down. That's one of the things you are going to get out of him. He's not going to be those guys that just starts looking around the play. No, he's going to look for color and start making that clean block.
So what do we have here, looks like?
We're going to have a personal foul.
Ooh.
Illegal helmet use.
Offset
in play. So we're going to replay the down, Ronnie, is what's going to happen. And while we have a minute right here, I'd like to say a little bit. The Dom Team, your real estate company serving the entire Imperial Valley, including farmland, commercial, and industrial gram. Thanks a lot, the Dom Team. Desert RV for all your off-road and trailer needs. Go see Joel on East Main in Brawley for all your travel trailer needs.
2nd down and 10. Shotgun formation, trips to the left, single receiver. He's looking to, and he guns it to Sell. No, is that? That looks like Nathan Torres.
Yeah.
Good call. We had Nathan Torres on the trip set. He was the first inside receiver closest to Gutierrez. Nice little pitch to him, pitch and catch. Good enough gain for 7 yards, make it a 3rd and 7. Brawley ball at the 30, check that, 27-yard line, 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, one of the things, Ronnie, that we're seeing, the ball's being spread out quite a bit here. I love seeing that, Ron.
We need to see it. Trips to the right. Single back is Craig Baum. 3rd down. He looks. He throws. And it's a nice catch. Same play, different side. Oh. And that's Nathan Torres again.
It's beautiful play. That's a beautiful play right there, Ron.
And like you said, it's tight end pop basically, but let's call it slot pop because he's lined up a little bit outside.
He's lined up off the line of scrimmage.
Off the line, away from the offensive tackle, so that's a good enough gain all the way to the 18-yard line. We have a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Tomas Rubio leads them up. He's our center. He's the center for the Wildcats. Cody Kopnick at guard. Sebastian Torres. Javier Martinez Caloca. The guy's doing all the dirty work. Under center, double wing. Option, give to Craig Baum, and he's going to walk in. He walked in. Fullback dive. Option, Brawley style. Give it to the fullback. If it's not there, pull, pitch, keep, whatever. this time decided touchdown, Brawley Wildcats.
And that's with 5:11 left in the first quarter. The Wildcats are just taking control of this ball game. Ronnie, I would have to say half a dozen players touched the ball on that drive right there. And that's one of the things. That's all the weapons. Not all the weapons, but that's the weapons that Coach Self wants to see.
Spreading the ball around. That's what you call it, spreading the wealth. So Paradia, good snap, good hold, great kick. So with that said,
Wildcats will be right back with the ticker scene on the bottom. You're seeing the score, 16-0, 5:11 left in the first quarter. Ron Rubio and Will Torres will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Warren Field with 5:11 left in the first quarter, 16-0. Your Brawley Wildcats ready to kick off.
Paradia set to kick. It's another booming kick to the left of the Wildcat defense. 26 returning. He's at the 20, 25. He breaks away 30, 35, falls forward. Good return by Heros Pradas. I know I'm mispronouncing the poor kid's name. Heroes Pradas.
Well,
Heros Pradis.
Well, he got a good run back.
Good run back,
Yeah.
number 26. So the ball's all the way up to the 36-yard line of their own Bulldogs. The ball's going to be on the right hash.
Okay, and while we get a minute right here, I'd like to thank some more people. Garcia and Priest, your certified public accountant, sponsoring your Brawley Wildcats. Vesey Farms, since 1923, supporting all Imperial Valley Scholar athletes. And Radfin, located at Driscoll's, your one-stop shop for all your tackle and apparel.
Havik Morales in shotgun formation. They're staying in the double set. He shoots it out, and it's complete to number 9. That is Jaime Castro. Nice little play there. So they're going to stay in that double set. Why? Because of the size of Brawley. You don't want to bring in tight formation. They're staying in the doubles. Still something Brawley has seen this. Brawley has seen all this spread. Brawley has seen a lot of offense this year. So we're able to adjust to it very well. Coach Self ready for it. That's going to be a 2nd and 1. That's Calexico best play of the night. 2nd down and 1. They're at the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line, right hash. They're moving to the west goal. They have doubles. Havik Morales, shotgun formation. He's alongside number 27, Chris Gonzalez. Kicks a man in motion. He gives it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez at the 50. He falls forward to the 46-yard line. Now, that's a quick hitter, and these are some of the things that can happen. Brawley still has their defense in there, so if they execute well, they can make some plays. I'm telling you right now.
Well, one of the things we're starting to see right here is they're starting to go in between the tackles on the Brawley Wildcats. Now, it might take a series for the Wildcats to adjust, but I can probably guarantee you they're going to adjust to that. But good job by the Calexico Bulldogs to actually find something where they can attack in the Wildcats.
They have a couple of big boys on that right side, doubles again. Bad snap again, and it's going to be recovered by the Wildcats.
And once again, it's Chandler Smith.
No.
And guess who it is? Chandler Smith caused it, but number 52, our man Omar Chavez, comes up with the loose football to have the Wildcats take it over on the 44-yard line, Ron. So it's going to be Wildcat ball. Good job by that defense. And over the center, Ron, the one that's probably causing a lot of the havoc for the Wildcats is number 54. That's Dominic Santana, man. He's just that's twice he's already created some havoc back there in the backfield to cause that fumble.
Doing his job, alignment, assignment. That's the Brawley credo. Line up right and know what you're supposed to do. Trips to the right, shotgun formation, Brawley Wildcat ball. It's at the Calexico 44-yard line. Gutierrez in shotgun formation. He's looking, he's dropping back, he's looking, he's going to launch it. And that is touchdown, number 4, J.J. Hernandez. I mean, my God, he just sat back, waited, let the guy clear right, as they say, dropping dimes. That's a new term now. I'm not hip to it, but dropping dimes, I mean, he just laid it in there.
Well, listen, I'm not hip
My
to a freshman
God.
quarterback throwing the ball with poise, with accuracy, and with a beautiful touch that he just threw without Fernandez missing a stride on that touchdown pass, Ron.
Well, I'm really happy to see J.J. catch one. He's back from the broken jaw that he suffered against Indio. He's back, and looks like Brawley's looking for a couple of players, and that's Ethan Gutierrez. Wow. A little bit excited about that. So, hey, Ethan, you got to hold the ball now.
No, well, actually, isn't that Nathan Torres that holds the ball? So something might have happened to Nathan Torres' hand.
Well, there we go. Somebody's down there.
Yeah.
Checking out by Dr. Farid. So here we go.
So that was
the hold. Nice. Great snap. Good hold.
And with 3:38, you're not hearing me wrong, 3:38 left in the first quarter. Of course, you can see the ticker on the bottom. Your Wildcats leading 23-0. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. That's vsnsports.net, where you get the opportunity to watch all our archive games that we have broadcasted. Last week, we had the pleasure of broadcasting the El Centro Imperial game. That was a total blast. We'd like to give a shout out to the Alta for teaming up with Ron Rubio and helping them broadcast that game. Really appreciate it. Really like his attitude. One of the good guys out there. We expect to see and hope to see a lot of great things out of Marco. So, Marco, we know you're listening. We appreciate it. We had a good time last week. So, with the Wildcats, like I said, lead 23-0 with 3:38 left in the first quarter. Here we go. Let's get a kickoff. Let's see what these Bulldogs can at least apply a little bit of pressure on these Wildcats, Ron.
Yeah, before that, let's say, Marco, send me a postcard wherever you're at.
Yeah, I heard he's in Germany.
Germany, Greece, somewhere. Kick is by Paredia. Paredia gets Heraz back. He drops it out. Oh, and it's going to fall out at the 1 yard line. Now, what happened to that poor kid, number 26, didn't field the ball right, and it falls right out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Well, that's one of those situations, like, if it's going to go out of bounds, you better let it go, because then it turns into a
go.
penalty.
Indecisiveness.
But if you touch it, I mean, it's going to, and it goes out, you better stay on the field. You better be one of those players.
You better hope that you don't have to go hear John Tyree. Well, ball's placed at the 1 yard line. You can't get any closer to their goal line than that. They've been down here. Their offense has been down here most of the night, Will. First quarter, we're not out of the first quarter. Now, I'm really interested to see. You're snapping from the 1 yard line. Your quarterback is halfway in the end zone. Why not go under center? We're not second-guessing Mr. Tyree. He knows what he's doing. Here we go, doubles. As we said, middle of the field, 1 yard line of the right hash. The snap, it's another bad snap. He's looking, he tosses it, and it's picked off by Julian Camargo. And Julian Camargo walks in for a touchdown. Congratulations, Julian. 20, that was maybe a 7-yard interception return. So that's the second defensive touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's three of them, because I'm thinking back right now. What I was trying to notice, that the reason that was an interception was the pressure applied from our defensive tackle position and the outside position on Chandler Self, and also Omar, just to apply enough pressure to make him throw a bad pass and to get that interception and allow Camargo to go in there for the touchdown.
And there's Paredia with the good snap, good hold, and a good kick. So,
wow.
Go ahead, Will. Oh, my God.
Are we going to have one of those nights where we might have the defense scoring more than our offense, Ron?
Hey, we'll take what we can get. Points are points, either way you get them.
This is one of those games where we wanted to practice some of our offense, but it looks like defense is stealing the show, Ron.
It's not going to happen tonight, Will. So right now, with 3:31 remaining, it's a 30-0 ball game. We are not out of the first quarter. It's not a mistake. It's still the first quarter. And, Will, my heart goes out to John Tyree and the Calexico Bulldogs, man. I mean, you don't ever want to see this, but that's the brutality of high school football.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
I think that's a perfect word to explain it. It's brutality.
Really.
when you're facing teams like this, and these Wildcats have been on the climb. They haven't. I believe the Wildcats have not even hit the plateau yet.
No,
Ron.
no.
The Wildcats have just been climbing, and it's just unfortunate that they're facing that Calexico team right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. That's what you want to do. Here we go. And Paradia's going to do little poocher there. Kicks, lands at the 20. And are we going to? No, they did not. I thought the Wildcats were going to recover it. They did not. Recovered there by number 3. And that number 3 is Frank Rosiles. So they dodge a bullet. They get a little bit better breathing room. They're at the 22-yard line. But all that started, the last touchdown for the Wildcats, the interception return for a touchdown, started with the mistake of the returner dropping the ball out the 1-yard line. You can't do that. You just cannot do that. When you're struggling on offense, you need to be smarter and make the basic football play. So that being said, here we go. The ball's going to be at the 23-yard line, Will, left hash. They're sticking to the double set, double formation. And it's working. This formation, let me tell you, is keeping the Brawley Wildcats defense off their backs. I don't think they could execute their – and here we go. He's running there.
Oh, a little shoelace tackle by Craigbon there, Ron. Or else it looks like he had a little bit of running room in front of him.
So Morales took what he could get, gains a couple of yards up to the 25-yard line. Now will be a 2nd down and 8. Ball's going to be in the middle of the field. So I'm really interested to find out what happened to Cesar Luna. He was their starting quarterback. I don't see him out there on the bench. I don't see him on the field. Do we see Torres? Torres is back out there, number 12.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
Looked like he got some tape on his right leg, or is that a pad? Shotgun formation. Here he goes. There's that give to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a good little runner. It's that little misdirection. You fake that jet sweep and you run your back. It's a timing play.
Well, they're going to – I mean, I don't know personally Ty Reed, but I do know about Ty Reed. And look, Ty Reed is going to look at this ball game. Hey, listen, let's just play old school football. Let's use the clock up. Let's run the ball in between tackles, and let's not fumble. That's going to be his key
That's
thing.
That's what they should have done from the start.
Like
You're right, Will.
Yeah.
Shotgun formation. They're staying in the double sets. 2 receivers on both sides. Ball's in the middle of the field. 3rd and 1 is the first chance to get number 3 and 4 in motion. Gives back to Gonzalez. And he is going to fall forward for a first down. So that's their first down of the game.
Second first down.
Down. Okay, you're correct. And we have another timeout by Tyree.
Yeah, that's going to be Calexico's second, Tyree. And that tackle was made by number 6, so J.J. Gutierrez coming out of his linebacker position. But, they got 3 yards on that, enough for a first down. And as we said earlier, that's the second time in this ball game that the Bulldogs have gotten a first down after they've taken over the ball in the kickoff. And Brawley has yet to punt it. In fact, we've only seen 2 series where the offense has had the ball. I mean, we've had defensive scores, besides the interception, which almost was scored by Torres. And then we had Carrillo with a beautiful touchdown pass thrown by Ethan Gutierrez. So while we have a minute right here, I'd like to give a little thanks to some of our people that have been so helpful and so supportive for us. Once again, Elms, for all your heavy equipment needs, located in Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. Desert RV Service, for all your off-road and trailer needs. Go see Joel. Vesey Farm, since 1923, supporting all Imperial Valley Scholar athletes. And still, with 2:08 left in the first quarter, Ron is your play-by-play guy.
Morales looking. He tosses a fade, and it passes intended for number 9, and that was number 9, Jaime Castro. Jaime Castro, that wasn't a bad play. The ball was there, defended well by Adrian Chavez. We have a flag on the field.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that, Will? I really didn't see the end of it.
I did.
I was actually looking to see if he had pressure, and it looked like a well-played ball. However, Back just sees differently.
Well, with the rule being that there is no more face guarding, I'm kind of surprised that penalty was called. Now, if he's going to call the pass interference, the players were in front of me at the last of it. I mean, it's one of those plays I'm going to have to – I didn't see it. Okay. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
I just didn't see it.
Well, Calexico picks up their, on account of the penalty, they pick up their second first down of the drive. They're now at their own 49, left hash, doubles. Motions number 3. He fakes, gets to 27, and we're catching on. They're catching on to that.
Yeah.
That is Jesse Gutierrez and J.J. Gutierrez.
Yeah.
So the Gutierrez family there making a tackle. They're not related, but
But on the football field, they are.
They?
But check this out, Ron. We
Nice.
said that. Calexico, that was a very smart move by Calexico when they started to run in between the tackles. But it was going to take a couple of plays for the Wildcats to catch on. And look, you're not going to get past when it comes to the defense side, when it comes to Coach Self. Listen, he's going to catch up to you real quick. You might change it up a bit, but Coach Self will catch up to you, and he will stop you.
Loss of 2 on the play. Now we have a 2nd down and 12 at their 46-yard line. Snap, a throw, fade intended for number 9, Castro. He's trying to come back for it. Defended by Adrian Chavez. Now Chavez was in good enough position, didn't allow number 9 to come back for the ball. Jaime Castro did not allow him to come back for the ball. Well defended. Was not, as Will says before, many times there's no more face guarding. He just played him well positioned.
And with still 1:14 left in the first quarter, I mean, fortunately, I love the way our guy behind the scenes, Joaquin Matus, takes care of everything back there. He's installed we actually have the football ticker. That's it's an inside joke. We'll have to tell people about that later.
3rd and goal. Brawley looks like they're in a goal line defense. They give us to number 3. He's going around to the right. He has a little opening, but is shut down very quickly by J.J. Fernandez.
Yeah.
Nice way to come up, J.J.
Now,
Well contained.
Yes, that's what it
contained
was.
means the perimeter was shut down. He strung it out. And Fernandez came with that. Was a great play by J.J. Great tackle, J.J.
Yeah,
for a gain of maybe a couple of yards, make it a 4th down and 11 at their 48.
After Self was able to stretch it out a little bit, they went outside of Self. But that's what we mean by also staying home. When you stay
at
home,
home, correct.
And that's what's going to happen when they do any kind of misdirection play.
Eugenio Fernandez back to punt, number 87. He's standing at his 34-yard line. He almost blocked by Jaden Figueroa. Takes a bounce. Good little bounce for the Bulldogs. It's going to land at the Brawley 25-yard line. So that's where Brawley will start. Their 2nd drive of this quarter, or 3rd drive of the quarter, with 21 seconds remaining. Brawley will take over. Probably get a couple plays off before the quarter ends.
Yeah, and we have a beautiful evening tonight. It's a little muggy, even though it's still, I would say, at about the mid-80s, Ron.
Love it. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. October weather, beautiful fishing weather, if you ask me. No wind be blowing. A little bit of bugs out there, but we haven't got all those heavy bugs. So while we have a little bit of time right now, I'd like to give thanks to Elms Equipment Rental. In Brawley and El Centro, do more than just equipment rentals. They have a large fleet of heavy haul trucks and travel nationwide. They also recycle base and asphalt and will deliver to your job site. So give them a call at 344-3780 or 353-4400 and see what else Elms can do for you.
Left hash. Gutierrez slings it to Chavez. Chavez at the 27. Like that play a lot.
Yeah,
didn't get a whole lot of yards on it, but let me tell you, that's something that's going to work. You want to give that kid the ball.
We're only a block or two away from going all the way on that one, Ryan.
That's right. We've seen it before. You threw that pass, and a kid with speed like that could take it 70, 80 yards down the stretch, baby. So that's going to end the first quarter, Will. What do you have?
Well, I have the Wildcats. Of course, you can tell it's 30-0. And I see a little bit of Wildcat picking up their pace. And I think John Self is going to get on them. Because, listen, they can't play to the level this. And I also see Calexico picking up their pace, though.
They should.
You know, you're going to see both teams probably play in between the hash marks, Ronnie. I mean, I know it's early, but you're going to see it. Look, I think both teams just want to play football down the middle, keep everybody healthy, finish out the season strong, even though, I mean, it doesn't look like Calexico is on the winning side of that, but they still want to finish strong and maybe start putting in some underclassmen for next year. Ronnie, it's 30-0. That's just the way it is. I'm not trying to so much downgrade the Bulldogs, but they got some good things coming up, Ron. Like we said,
they have a good freshman team.
Yeah, they got a very good freshman team. So, you know, you might see a little different things from Ty Reed where give these other guys a little bit more experience. I really don't know, but let's see what they decide to do. But these Wildcats, I don't want to see them punt this whole game. That's one thing I don't want to see them do, Ron.
Well, right now we're starting the second quarter. Brawley will have the ball at the 26-yard line. Right hash, trips to the left, Gutierrez in shotgun formation. Single back, that being Damian Reyes, I believe, or is that Torres? No, that's Damian Reyes. Shotgun formation. We're going to have an offside on Eugenio Fernandez, number 87. What in the world? Look at the ball, watch the ball. Instead, he jumps offsides.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the kind of plays. That's why you're the football team you are. I dislike saying that, but come on, guy. Pay attention. Here we go. Second down.
that's a Coach Ron.
Second down and 3. Shotgun formation, trips. No, he shoots it to Chavez, and here he goes.
That's that play we're
40, 50, 45. Knocked out by number 3, Frank Rosiles. So
that's
the third time we've ran that play.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. We're just a block away. And while we have a minute right now, Ron, I'd also like to give a shout out to one of our, we've seen a lot of kids go through our program and stuff. And then we have kids that leave early. Thaniel Lee. Do you remember Thaniel Lee?
Yes, I do.
He just gave a little shout out. So I'd like to do a little shout out back to old Thaniel Lee. Thank you for watching. I still think of him as a Brawley boy, and Kim and his sister Kim, and I'm sorry, it's his mom, but yeah.
Daddy Dee.
So Thaniel Lee and the whole Lee family, man. We still consider you guys Brawley folks. Yeah,
there you go. There we go. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Left hash. Calexico 47-yard line. Check that 43. The give is done. Gutierrez is going to keep it. Takes it all the way to the 32-yard line.
But I'm going to go off subject here a little bit every once in a while. I was talking to Coach Self about this yesterday. Playing in the Palm Desert, Indio, Coachella Valley, I kind of miss that, Ronnie, because
I do too.
It's something about that Yuma. The Yuma, it's not so much I don't like it, but it's a different conference, and I know San Diego. It's still CIF, and I know San Diego CIF is different, but I would sure like to go back to the Coachella Valley and play the La Quinta, the Cat City, and all them teams. Shadow Hills being another one.
Southern Section football. That's what it is. They give us to Damian Reyes. Damian's trying to fight his way. He's going to get dropped down by number 58. Good hustle by number 58.
Oh, excellent
Sunshine
hustle.
Soltero. Great name, Sunshine Soltero. With this grab, 87 is limping. That's Eugenio Fernandez. He jumped outside, a player or two back. Now he's limping around for the Bulldogs. That was a loss of 2 yards. So 2nd down and 12 for the Wildcats at the 33-yard line.
Now, we still see Caloca and we still see Cody in there, so either that was a misassignment or just a great play by Sunshine.
Good play by 58. He's not a small kid.
No, he's not small. Good for him.
They have a 6'2", 294. That's what they list him in Max Preps. We have trips to the right. Single back is Craig Baum. Shotgun formation. Gutierrez is looking to the right. He is going to run. 40. He's going to throw. Wide open is Reyes. 21. He's at the 10 all the way down to 7. I love that. Reyes and Gutierrez have a little chemistry there. Yeah. We see a lot of that. Reyes knows how to get open. Gutierrez looks like he's going to take off, and boom, there goes Reyes opening up. Beautiful play, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, what I'm liking, Ronnie, is that he's going to different receivers because I'm not going to
say – Spreading it, as you said, spreading it around.
I'm not going to say he's the tallest, but once he gets outside a pocket, he's looking for color to hit. And that's one of the things right now. He's looking for color. Next year, he's going to know exactly where everybody's at.
He's getting all the experience any kid can deserve right now. The ball is now at the 8-yard line. I'm going to say 1st and goal from the 8. Right hash, trips to the right. That's the short side of the field. Wide side is to the left. He has Fernandez. He's looking. He drills it, and it's almost picked off by number 27, Chris Gonzalez. Good play. That play right there was a reminder of the Imperial game where you try to thread it between too many people and got a pick. So we have now a 2nd down and 2nd and goal from the 9. Right hash. And I like what Brawley's doing. We're not taking the foot off the pedal, which you don't do, Will.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's a 30-0 ball game, but you can't fall down. You have to execute. That's what we're trying to do.
No, they're playing like a 7-0 ball game is what they're doing. Yeah, and that's what you have to do right now because, look, you know that come the 3rd quarter, they're going to have a choice to run that clock. And this is something Ethan Gutierrez needed at that quarterback position, Ronnie.
So he was looking to his left. He's running to his left. He's at the 10, 5, and he's going to go in. Touchdown. He was looking for Jesse Gutierrez, number 42. He was looking for Jesse Gutierrez, who was lined up to the left, away from the trip side. He was covered. And just a smart kid, instead of trying to force something, heck, I got the wheels. Let me get in there.
Not only
Touchdown.
did he have the wheels, Ronnie, he had that lineman out in front. As soon as that lineman turned around and saw that he passed the line of scrimmage, he goes, boom, I'm hitting color on the other side. I'm blocking for you. He walked in there and ready for the score. That's what you want to see out of Gutierrez. Nobody touching him when he goes in there.
Good decisions. That's what you want to see. And with the kick, 9:06 remaining in the second quarter, it's the Brawley Wildcats 37, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
And Ronnie, Will, Sarah, and Joaquin will be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. With 9:06 left to the half, the Wildcats get ready to kick off, and Ronnie will take it from here.
Paredes with another pooch kick. That's going to be received at the 27-yard line. Runs it up to 30. Ball's on the ground, but it's recovered back by the Bulldogs. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say John Self is practicing that little pooch kick for next week, which may come in handy.
Well, I think he's practicing deep. He's going pooch, and he's actually telling him where to kick each time to get a good practice and a good feel for it.
Well, we know we could get it in the end zone. That's great.
Yeah.
But what if we need it? What if the Wildcats need it next week? You can pooch that. And Xavier, I'm going to tell you some personal knowledge. Paredes and John, they have fits over each other on it. Paredes thinks he does a good job of it. John, not so much. So here we go. Well, we're working on it.
Well, I think I do a below average job, and he thinks I do a terrible job. So we always have a difference of opinion.
I think that pass might have been deflected by Chandler Self. The ball was intended for number 88. That's Ramon Guevas.
Nathan May on the coverage. And, that's what I like seeing right now. Look at Chandler Self all over the ball. I mean, even if he's not making the tackle, we got a bunch of ball hawks out there.
Yeah. That's what Brawley's defense has always been predicated on, is hustle, flying to the ball, playing fast, playing hard. And as we always say, Brawley football. Here we go, double-doubles. They've not changed this formation. I've not seen anything else. Motion, shotgun, give to 27 Gonzalez. There's nowhere to go. Nathan May, and I bet you that's Omar Chavez. May and Chavez on the stop. Little or no gain, believe that.
Well, one of the reasons Chavez and May made the tackle is because they double-teamed Craigbaum. They know to go after him, and they were pushing him 10 yards back. But look, if it's going to take two guys to get one of our key tacklers out of the way so somebody else go in there, good. And now we see the big guy coming in there. Yeah.
Things can't get any worse for the Bulldog. We send in Daniel Caloca.
Yeah.
Half man, half beast. Caloca's now lining up at left tackle to the right of the offense of the Calexico Bulldogs. Motion again, double-doubles. The give is, and that's that little tricky handoff. Now, the timing's not good. You fake to your motion receiver, and it's supposed to be a mesh. Mesh meaning a good handoff to the back. Kind of a little mishandling there of the ball. Regardless, no gain, 4th and 11.
Ronnie, on that play right there in particular, just that play, I want your opinion on this. Is Wildcat playing that great a defense and reading everything and staying home, or are the Bulldogs half a step behind?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Right now, that's all they're doing. They're running that motion, that jet sweep, and if they don't give it to that guy, they give it to the back. So it's one or two guys, and the Wildcats are getting penetration. Here's a snap, the kick. It's a good one. Fielded by Damian Reyes at the 40. He's got a wall. 45, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Damian Reyes. Congratulations, son. Senior night. But
no. Do we have a penalty on the field?
I think we do see something on the wall. I seen the wall develop from a mile away.
I don't.
I saw the wall. You just see my hand in the way of everybody. But I'm trying to see. Anyhow, great setup by the Wildcats.
Have the Wildcats had a penalty called on them today, Ron? I believe one, and it was just an illegal procedure, right? It was on the line. And look, Self is still in the mood. He don't care what it is. He sees a flag out there.
It's a mistake.
Yeah.
It's a mistake on our part. If it was a block in the back, it was a block in the back, something so.
No, he wants perfection game. He don't matter what it is.
No, and that's what you have to do. I mean, you're in the driver's seat of the game right now. It's already this game, for all intent, it's done. It's what is it?
Mentally and physically.
37-0.
Well, one thing I can say about Calexico, they got one of the greatest duels in commentating.
There
That's
you go.
Vic Carrillo and John Moreno. So we see them across as we wave to them. One of the great people of Calexico. They've been there for a long time. Great friends of ours, and just really admire the work they do for the Calexico Bulldogs.
Gutierrez is back to throw. He's looking. He's staying in his pocket. Lots of time. No open receivers. He's at the 50, and he'll just walk out.
Yeah.
Great decision, and I like how he just stayed calm, waited to see if anything was going to open up. Nothing opened up. Took off for a gain of about 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 for the Wildcats at the Calexico Bulldog 47-yard line. So good decision by the young kid, Will. What do you think?
Yeah, what I'm also noticing is that Brandon Self is the one doing all the talking right now. I mean, I know that John's got the headset and he's overhearing everything. Do we have Brandon Young making all the calls right now?
Sure
Ron?
he is. That's his job. He's the OC. You know, of course, John's going to listen in. If he wants to override anything, he might. Not too sure on that. Here we go. Shotgun formation. Double by the Wildcats. Single back is Craig Baum. Gutierrez is standing at the 49 of the Wildcats. He's looking. He tosses it to Craig Baum. Little flat pattern out to the 40. 35 cuts back. 30. 20. And he's going to be brought down at the 17-yard line. Love it again. Another target. Another position that he's thrown to. Fullback out of the backfield.
And if you think you're going to ankle tackle Craig Baum, you're not. There is no way you're going to be able to ankle tackle him. Now.
I've said before, I wouldn't know where to tackle a kid built like that. Ankles are the only spot.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So here we go. So the ball's going to be placed after that great catch and throw.
6:20 left till the half. Of course, you can see on the bottom of the ticker, 37-0. Calexico has used 2 of their timeouts. Of course, it shows down there that Brawley still has 3 of theirs.
16-yard line, under 4. We're going to go under center now. The Wildcats under center, motion to Chavez, and we're going to have Caloca.
We're going to have both of them. I think that's both on Rubio and Caloca.
We had a motion. Chavez was coming in motion. That's one of the staple plays for the Wildcats.
Excuse me, Martinez. Rubio's our center. That's Martinez and Caloca. That's just a tag team over there that they probably did that on their own. And it's finally cool enough to see the mascot for the Brawley Wildcats dressed up.
And there goes Craig Baum. Trucks a kid, and he's in.
Whoa, Ron.
Well,
wow.
So number 3, I'm glad the kid got up. Number 3, he tried to take Craig Baum's knees out, and Frank Rosales, number 3, great effort, son.
Well, the one thing we just said, you're not going to tackle him head up. I wish you would have been listening to us to at least go for his ankles, because you get anything above on Craig Baum, you're not going to bring him down, especially when he's coming full steam ahead on you, and then you're sitting there flat-footed. You're not going to stop Craig Baum.
So with that being said, 5:45 remaining in the second quarter. The Brawley Wildcats 44, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
And while we have a little bit of time, I'd still like to give a little bit of thanks to everybody. Garcia and Priest, your certified public accountant, supporting your Brawley Wildcats. Bessie Farms out of Hopeville, since 1923, supporting all Imperial Valley Scholar athletes. Desert RV for your off-road and trailer needs. Go see Joe, located on East Main in Brawley. Elms for all your heavy equipment needs with the Lowboy, located in Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. Radfin at Driscoll's, your one-stop for all your fishing, tackle, and apparel. KC Welding and equipment needs, also with machine and tool rentals, located now also in east side of Brawley on the edge of town and El Centro. The Dom Team, your real estate company serving the Imperial Valley including farmland, commercial, and industrial ground. Go see Andrew Dom for all your real estate needs.
Paredes with another pooch kick. And 26 tries to field it again, and he doesn't. That's a live ball. I thought that was live, maybe unless one of the
Unless he touched his
touched
knee,
it and he was out of bounds. I'm not too sure what happened there. However, the referees are conferencing about it. I don't know who called it.
Well, the thing is, did the ball go out of bounds, Ronnie? They're saying
Maybe did it hit
touch
might have hit the line. I'm not sure.
But did it hit him first? That's what they're talking about.
So I think it might have. I don't know.
So we might have a little bit of a difference of opinion. Look, they're going to tell him, look, they think the ball went out of bounds. So
as he tried, was the kid out of bounds?
I don't want to misinform the people,
Yeah,
so I
right,
don't want to
okay.
say it. Yeah. But it might even be an inverted whistle, to be honest with you.
Well, let's check it out. Are we going to have a re-kick?
Because what happened, Ron, what I believe I saw, that the kid got it, and then they blew the whistle dead. And then just to be, like almost thinking the ball was going to go out of bounds. But I don't want to really emphasize that. So
They're going to give him the ball at the 35, and that's usually when the ball lands out of bounds.
yeah,
right?
they're going to say the ball went out of bounds then.
Okay, so good field position for the Bulldogs on that mishandled kickoff. They've done that before. Ball's at the middle. They'll have it at their own 35, middle of the field.
And people, don't go away, because Ron and I have a special guest, as we do every halftime. We try to bring somebody in. We're going to have Ernie Ramos. Ernie Ramos' story is very interesting, and it goes back, because I went to school with him, so it goes back a lot of years. We're going to have him. We're going to have Ernie as our halftime guest.
Havoc Morales, shotgun formation. He escapes, and he's knocked down. Looking to throw, didn't find anybody. Runs up the middle, and he's knocked down by Chandler Self and number 6, J.J. Gutierrez. I'm glad to see J.J. Gutierrez playing some good linebacker. He was suspended from last week's game, didn't get to suit up, and nice to see him making a couple of plays tonight, Will.
Yeah, as much as we don't like suspensions, I mean, it was, well, you know what, I don't even want to go there. I'm just glad to see him back in the field.
Back and doing well. 2nd down and 8, middle of the field. The ball now is at the Calexico Bulldog 37-yard line. 2nd down. Shotgun formation. They have not run any other formation other than the double doubles. And the ball hit Gonzalez, number 27, and it looks like recovered by
Brawley
Wildcats. And that's Nathan May.
That's Nathan
so
May.
Hustle,
on that, yes.
playing hard, being at the right place, not at the, Brawley's playing hard. They're not slacking. So when you play hard, good things happen to you. Fumble recovery, 1st down for the Wildcats.
And another thing, Ron, I'd like to point out, even though the Wildcats are dominating this football game, they're not cocky about it.
No.
You know what they're doing? They're doing their job, going back to their huddle, shutting their mouth, and getting back in there and playing hard, aggressive football. And that's what we need out of this game. We need to come out healthy. We need everybody intact. We need to keep our penalties down, pay attention to what's going on, and protect our quarterback.
Very businesslike, as you'd say. The ball now is at the Calexico Bulldog 26-yard line, right hash. We're going to be under. The Wildcats will be under center. Looks like the tight formation. They haven't done this double wing.
Well, they have a running clock, I believe, now, Ronnie.
You're kidding.
No, because that was changed.
Craig Baum to the left. Craig Baum to the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line.
So as we have a 1st down right here, you'll see that the clock is not stopping.
Well,
with
done.
2:16, 2:15 to go in the half, the clock is not stopping. And, Ty Reed, he might have, something might have happened where he's missing a lot of players, and, trying to keep up with Brawley at this time right now is maybe not the best thing to do. But with games going around the valley, I'll give you some score updates at halftime, or if somebody can actually we have them on our website at vsnsports.net if you guys want to go there and find out the scores.
Double shotgun formation. Single back is Craig Baum. And it looks like Brawley's going to call a timeout. Now, is the clock going to run on a timeout, Will?
That's a negative. That's a negative. On a timeout and on an injury, the clock will stop.
So 141 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Brawley 44, Calexico Bulldog 0. Timeout by the Wildcats.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have Ernie up here, and Ernie's been very instrumental for VSN. He's given us a lot of help. He's a great sports writer.
Great sports writer.
Great sports
if you
writer.
read his articles in the Desert Review, that's where he's been. I believe Ivy Press, I'm not sure. But
No,
every time you've read Ernie's stories on a game, it's like you've been there. Wow, that happened. I didn't see the game, didn't hear the game.
He's my Don Knight is what he is.
That's old school writing. I remember that's how the writers used to be.
Yeah, so please look forward to Ernie Ramos's on Desert Review. You know, he does all of the write-ups for the Brawley football team and stuff. And I know that he also has his kid in the band this year, if I'm not mistaken. So good with that. He's all around and everything.
Just love the band. I'm glad that the Brawley band is here. I hope they stay the whole game. A couple of weeks ago, they were here, and they pulled out before halftime, but for a very good reason. They ended up playing at UCLA at the Rose Bowl, along with 30 other schools and the UCLA marching band. So what a great honor and great experience for the Brawley band.
Yeah.
Getting there, now they're up and coming. Here we go. 141 remaining. Ball's on the left hash. Ball's at the 21-yard line of the Calexico Bulldogs. Wildcats in shotgun formation. We got trips to the right. JJ Fernandez is the single receiver to the left. We have Reyes, number 21, is the single back. Gutierrez with the snap to give us to Reyes. It's a sweep to the right. He's looking for blocks. We're going to get a hold. And we have a great play, great tackle by number 8, and also maybe a face mask. But what a great play by number 8.
Yeah.
Check that. That might be Jaime Castro, but
These are
still
some
running.
of your players, right, Ron, coming up
No,
from the JV?
not yet. We still have Damian Reyes out there. Right now, we're looking at the varsity team. There's no substitutes yet. And there's probably going to be offsetting penalties. Might have been a hold to start the playoff, and the finish may have been a face mask. May have. We got a hold.
Yeah, we got a hold, and it looks like that flag was thrown at the feet of Cody Kopnick, but that doesn't mean he called it. But you said they had a face mask, Ron?
No, horse collar. Just look at Gene Martin called a
we had a horse collar over there, and then we had a hold. So Brawley will get to replay. Brawley and Calexico will get to replay the same down right now.
So the clock doesn't stop on a penalty. The clock is ticking 37 seconds. Brawley's taking their time lining up. They're not in a hurry to run a play, but they'll have enough time to run a play. Under center is Gutierrez. Split backs. The give is to Reyes, and Reyes wants that touchdown. He cuts back to the 15, finds his way all the way up to the 8-yard line, 16 seconds and counting. Are they going to line up for another play?
I
think not.
No, not with the running clock.
No.
I think Self's going to
let it go,
yeah,
let it go.
So,
well,
Ron, with the half ending right now, the score 44-0 and already a running clock. Once that running clock stops, it will not stop. So with the score 44-0, we're waiting for Ernie Ramos to come up and visit us, and it's always great chatting with him. I saw him last week with our good buddy Jim Spence, and it's good seeing him up there. While BSM was covering the Central Imperial game, which was a barn burner. We had a blast.
We had a great time.
So at halftime right now, we have Imperial leading Southwest 27-0. Ernie's going to come up here and he's going to give us some stats, some Brawley stats up here, something that he's been supplying for us for all the season to come. So after this break, we'll have Ernie up here at halftime. So Ron, Will, Sarah, and Joaquin will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. While we have a moment up here, I'm going to give you a little bit of halftime scores right now. We have Southwest at Imperial, with Imperial leading 27-0. Central, kind of a close game in the second quarter, 29 leading Palo Verde 29-7. And then we have Vincent Memorial, which we thought was going to be a great game. Vincent Memorial being the number 1 seed and Hopeville being the number 3 seed in the second quarter with the score 16-7. And then, of course, the Mount Empire Calipat game got canceled. But one of the things that we depend on sometimes at halftime is our stats. And and Mr. Ernie Ramos has been so kind to give us halftime stats every time he gets a chance. And not only does Ernie supply the stats for us, he's also a writer. He's been a writer. Well, first of all, let me introduce Ernie Ramos. Ernie Ramos, welcome to the VSN
Thank you very
Press
much.
Box.
Thank you very much.
And I've known
it.
Ernie for a lot of years. We graduated out of Brawley High School in 1982, along with Vice Principal Greg Smith, which we see out there. And Ernie, you've been covering Brawley football for how many years now?
It officially began in 2011, but a full season was 2012. And the hilarious part is the first time I was asked, I actually told him no, because I went to football games for fun.
Yeah.
Pretty much fun, and that's all it was for me. It's it's like my hobby. I'm a very passionate Wildcat football fan, as everybody knows me. And I get kidded about that because, I have more passion for Brawley football than people have with NFL football.
With NFL football.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things you will catch about Ernie is that not only does he just do the home games, Ernie actually travels with the team every away game too. Is that correct,
Just
Ernie?
about. It was a tradition that began with my parents, and believe it or not, I can go back to 1973 when I got the fever of Brawley Wildcat, when we even have the article. Don Knight wrote it, and that game, Brawley beat Central after a 4-year drought. I remember sitting in those stands with the electricity. I was just in awe. I was 9 years old. I was caught on it, and from there on, I'm sure I went to games before that, but I know for a fact that I've only missed one Bell game since then, and that's because I was 500 miles away from here.
Oh, that's a pretty good reason why.
Thankfully for my parents, they were always followers. They were following Brawley football since '59 when they got married. Sad to say, I lost my mom in 2018, and this year, sadly, I lost my dad. And it's going to be the first game of a Bell game where my parents aren't around, and that's going to be a tough one. But one thing I did, I was one of the first ones to buy seats, and I actually bought the same 2 seats that my parents sat at 2 years ago, their last Bell game. So that's another thing. Lots of memories of Bell games. Lots of memories.
Well, that's one of the good things. A lot of people share a lot of things, and it's good to hear that one of the things that you shared with your parents was able to go to all the games, especially make the Bell game a special game to always attend. So that's a pretty touching story there, Ernie. And the other thing I want to talk to you about, you've been writing now for a while now. How long have you been writing now?
Since 2012 with the Desert Review. Awesome bosses. I don't even call them. They're so awesome. You can't picture a boss like that. But Betty and Lloyd are incredible. They love my stories. Every summer, I get a phone call from Betty. Are we gonna have you this year? And you know what? I'll kid around every now and then. I'll say, well, I already have my stuff, Betty. I have it ready.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, even before we started doing this gig, it was. I always look forward to reading your articles.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to ask you some of these other questions. You've been around. Me and Ronnie have our favorites, but let's go with the skill position. Talk to me about in your opinion, some of the best. I'm going to go a different way. Let's go some of the best linemen you remember.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's a tough
I can
one.
help you. I can help you with that
I
one.
know one name comes up, and I don't even know him personally. Russell Labubu.
Russell Labubu. He's in the Hall of
Yes,
Fame. I can tell you that much.
Yes, definitely him.
1981, Tim McClanahan.
Tim McClanahan, definitely.
John
that
Smith.
Whole line, that
Remember
whole line.
1979, John Smith.
Yes, he's a beast.
And, you know, you cannot, I mean, as much as I've been watching this football, I got to go back to last year. That was the biggest, one of the strongest, most intimidating lines we ever had.
Yes,
You had the twins on there, the Dom twins. And
I actually coached them in baseball.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, I knew they were going to be in here.
And then you had the big guy, and then, you know, I'm thinking of his name. It's Frank Waters' nephews.
Oh yeah, Mr. Henry Thomas.
Yeah, Henry Thomas. We had Henry Thomas, you know, and he reminded me a lot about. Henry Thomas did remind me of Frank Waters. So it's just, I mean, I hadn't seen a line like that in a long time. But you know, you bring up some names, Russell Abubu, and you know, like I said, Tim McClanahan, and off the top of my head, I'm going a little bit blank, but because I'm trying to remember some of the names in the recent years. So let's jump over to the guys that made the linemen make them look good. What about running backs?
Wow, that's a tough one only because
We've had
there's
some
so
of the
many.
best running. Yeah,
there's
although I
some
think
of
you're
the
right. I
best.
think
Yes.
it's just so tough. Yeah, because
Of
there's so
course,
many.
Zay Shepard comes to mind. I remember when Ronnie was playing, and we had three running backs. That we had the fullback with Jay Platt. Ronnie was running back, and Marvin Carter.
Marvin Carter.
And if I'm not mistaken, all three of them, well, at least two of them had 1,000 yards rushing that year, and Jay Platt was just under that, only because he was a fullback.
Yeah.
That's 3,000 yards, and to me, I believe that's one of the best Brawley teams that ever stepped on this field.
Well,
I really do.
You know, I'm kind of favorite to the 2004, not only because I coached them and my kids on there, but I got to go back a little bit earlier. I got to go back to the 1979 that had Gary Lopez, Rick Marcus.
That's the team. That's the team because they played.
No, Ronnie and them were on it. That's true. Yes. They were on it. And they had, I think, Art Sycon, Ed Wiest in the backfield. Mm-hmm. And actually the only sophomore to be on that team was Brian Foster at the time. Mm-hmm. You know, and now we're going back 35-something years here. But
and God rest his soul.
God rest a lot of the Brian. We lost Brian this year.
Yeah, so sad.
So, yeah, a lot of. That's part of the thing when you keep track and you live this long. You see those kind of things. But
sadly, yes.
Now let's go to quarterbacks. Let's go of the late and of the early.
Rick Marcus.
Oh, Rick Marcus. You got to say Rick Marcus, man.
Rick Marcus,
one of the smartest gentlemen. And you know what? We actually have his grandson, Nathan, wearing his number 12.
Yes,
Good old number 12 wearing his number. And that's in tradition. I think all the Taurus boys and all the boys that played before him wore number 12 in honor of their granddad.
Yes, definitely. Naturally, Baez for the 2004.
2004.
He had so many weapons, but he knew when to use them.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to go back in the little in-between in the 90s when Brawley was a powerhouse, when Kurt Rubin was running the ball. Tyler Reese, if you talk about a guy that was just an awesome quarterback, that kid, you know, him and Rick Marcus, but I think even Tyler was more athletic than Rick Marcus. Tyler Reese was just a stud. Not only, you know, in the mental aspect of knowing where everybody was at, he was a great leader is what he was.
Yes,
you know, that's one of the things I remember about Tyler Reese. Of course, Mitchell Reese, he's just a baller. His younger brother played later than him. And then we had one of the other Reese boys. He ended up transferring to Imperial. But, you know, Tyler Reese at quarterback was one of the great things. That's one of the things as you know, Ernie, every time we see each other, we always reminisce down memory lane, you know. And, like, we can just look at any year and remember people like Donomick Aguirre, you know, one of my favorite all-around kids,
That's the
you
one
know.
From the 2001 team.
Brawley lost to
modern-day Marian Catholic.
Yeah, Marian Catholic
28-7.
in the semis, you know, and stuff like that. And then how can you go wrong? I mean, you got Nico Aguirre right now getting ready. He's playing in Utah right now, and he's just doing a fabulous job. He's playing free safety back there for him, and it's a senior year. We wish him the best. He's playing tomorrow. And then, of course, Coach Self was telling me that Casey Klein, even though he's here tonight, he was telling me that they're thinking about putting him on a traveling team where he won't redshirt. So that was a 50-50. He wasn't really sure about that. But it's always good to see people like you, Ernie, because we go back so many years. I mean, we just love going back.
Decades now, dude.
We go decades.
Now.
We don't even go 3-4 years.
Yes.
But we go decades. But when you start talking about the Zay Shepherds, the Sam Toomers, you know, the Marty Muhammads, and who could forget Michael Muhammad? You know, he was one of the best receivers here, went into the NFL for the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know, as a linebacker.
I followed my, as far as his stats and everything in college. And I thought what was the most amazing about Mike Muhammad is that he was leading the Pac-12 or whatever they were in Pac-10. It keeps on changing. But with tackles, and he wasn't even in a starting position because he was smart enough to know all the different plays of all the linebackers. So he was always in them. He just didn't have
one of the reasons they got him is because he was one of the
He's a
smartest
smart
players
player.
on the team. You
Ever.
know,
Yes,
like,
definitely.
so as I look on, as Joaquin allows me to look on my Facebook page, I'll tell you what. If somebody can throw some names out there, I'll tell you what. I think me and Ernie will come up with some stories of some of the seasons they had.
Can I
out
say
there.
a story? I want to say a story, a real quick story
All right.
of what I remember of never to leave a football game early. One of the reasons I'm really into football, I love high school football. I was in the band. I was too small to play. You guys were just too big. But I remember being in the band one homecoming game. I love telling this story because we had to leave early. And getting on that bus was one of the toughest things for me to do. And I was in high school. We were playing Coachella here. And when we left, I had snuck in an AM radio to listen to the game. And they were moving the ball all the way down the field. They were getting ready to score. And all of a sudden, while we were in front of the Lions Center on our bus right back, I'm yelling, "We won the game, we won." And they're going, "How could we win the game? They were going to score. Clarence just caught a 100-yard interception return, and he just ran it all the way back. We won. I think we were winning 3-0 at the time, and he took it back 10, and I believe we won 10-0 that game, or it was something like that. But and ever since I've never left early at a game.
You've never left early again.
I don't leave early at games. This is my personal opinion. It's a disrespect to the players. Even if we're winning 50-0 or losing 50-0, it's a disrespect to every kid out there suffered through that hell week in August.
Yeah.
They deserve a quick trip to my car to get out of the parking lot is not worth it.
Well, I can't say goodbye to Ernie without saying some of the people that were my quarterbacks during my playing days. Of course, when you had Joseph Martinez for Ronnie's quarterback, you had Alfred Juarez, which was a dual threat quarterback. He was your passing and your runner, and he also shared the duties with David Schaefer. Remember David Schaefer?
Well, Alfred got us in with against Ganesh.
Yeah, he got
put him. They put him in and made
one
a
of the
big
reasons
difference.
that we still had a chance there at the very end. Oh, good old Alfred Juarez, which is one of the inductees to the Hall of Fame not too long ago.
Awesome.
So, I mean, and it's good to see the new crowd of kids. You got the Godinez kids. I mean, we had Nate, you know, a couple of years ago, and you know, I coached some of them in Pop Warner. You know, you don't always have favorites, but you have people that are just like studs. You know, like when I say stud, I mention people like you got little Donnie Wharton. Now that kid right now is in the U.S. Air Force flying jets. I mean, the kid quarterback here, they play like fullbacks, they play their butts off, and now he's flying jets for the U.S. Army. Just one of those kids you can say not just his parents are proud, but the town of Brawley is proud. Not just Brawley, but the Imperial Valley, to see somebody at the quarterback position, you know, give it all out and succeed in another career, especially to see what he's doing right now. I mean, it's just great to see those kind of stories, you know.
I just spoke to Andrew Ortiz's mom not too long ago, and he was actually doing, you know, those lines, those electrical lines that are like they seem to be like a mile high.
Yeah.
Apparently he's doing that.
Who's
that?
that?
Andrew Ortiz, the Beast.
Oh,
Beast
okay.
mode. Andrew Ortiz, 2000. He graduated 2005, 2004 with he.
Andrew Ortiz.
Andrew Ortiz, yeah.
He was just one of those north and south runners, you know.
My gosh, yeah, but he really surprised me from his freshman year to
the
Kurt
senior.
Sanders is another one that comes
Yeah.
to mind, and I know these people are throwing names out there. And, you know, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention Pablo Torres. I remember him at the Bell game in El Centro down there where he had to come in and take over at quarterback duties. Just did a tremendous job. He's living up in San Diego now, but he still follows Brawley football quite a bit. So it's just good to see people, and that's one of the things that BSN's doing, Ernie. We want to reach out to the people that aren't always at the game. Now, you know, that's BSN's deal. You know, our main goal is to get people to the stands, Ernie. That's our main goal, to get people to come to the game. It's beautiful weather. It's Friday night. You can't beat the atmosphere of being at the game, Ernie. I mean, it's fun to watch it. Hey, listen, I understand if people can't travel. I understand. But, you know, BSN and everybody, the Billy Brewer from you know, the Principal Sanchez to Simon Canales, I mean, we need to fill these stands up. We need that Brawley pride back. And I think we're getting slowly but surely.
We're gonna these next few years look like we're gonna have teams to bring in people too.
Yeah, they're looking very positive. And it's not just about winning, because look, we didn't always have to win. I mean, when I say we, I mean Brawley didn't always have to win, but we always had a good following, and we need to get back to where we were at.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
Ernie, I appreciate you coming up
Thank you,
here.
Will. I appreciate
And not only BSN, but everybody in the community appreciates your writing. You're awesome. You're awesome when it comes to reporting and writing, and everything has to do with the Wildcat football team. So
It's amazing, Will, that I got the greatest compliment. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was about 3 or 4 years, and it was exactly what you said when you said you read Don Knight. And I was like in awe, because, tell you the truth, he's one of the best writers. I used to enjoy and love reading his stories. Whether or not that was exactly what I wanted to be, exactly, but you know, that was the ultimate compliment. Thank you very much.
And I meant it
Will.
because, to me, Don Knight, I mean, when you had a whole page on each game, that was one of the things I really look forward to, is going to the store at 7-Eleven down there on K Street as a kid, going down there and getting that damn newspaper and seeing all the pictures and full-page articles, you know. And that's one of the reasons VSN got involved with this. I think we lacked the coverage, Ernie, so we decided to get it. So with halftime starting to get, I just got one more announcement. You know, we have the Brawley Youth Football Program, AYF, has playoffs tomorrow. So we encourage everybody to support your AYF football programs from wherever city they are. And we'll give the announcement where the game's going to be at during the third quarter. But please, not only do we want you to support AYF, but support your local. I mean, I hope I have some Calexico fans. One of the most beautiful cities in Imperial Valley. You know, I worked there many years. Great people, great food, great everything else. So I really like it. So the 10U and 13U will be playing November the 9th. Junior Pee Wee is playing Parker, Arizona at Parker. The Brawley Pee Wee will be playing in Hopeville tomorrow. So if you get a chance and you want to go see a little bit of AYF, you got nothing else to do, go down and support the AYF. I mean, these people, the volunteers, the board members, I know Bobby Sanchez and Brawley and Ryan Revelar, they do a great job in supporting the program. It's a feeder program to all the high schools, not just Brawley, to all the high schools. So we appreciate everything they do. And with that said, Ernie, thank you for coming up.
Appreciate it.
Me and Ronnie
It's
appreciate
awesome.
it. And we'll be seeing you a lot more often, Ernie.
I hope so.
And
I
we
hope
look
so.
forward to reading your article this weekend.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you very
good
much.
night.
All right.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. And once again, people, it's a beautiful night here for football. And I know it's halftime. Brawley is going to start the game with a running clock versus the Calexico Bulldogs. And the score being 44, as you can see on the bottom of the clicker here. The clock will not stop, only for timeouts and the end of the quarter, of course, and injuries. That's the only reason the clock will stop. So I do not believe the Wildcats, Ronnie, I do not believe they're going to take it easy. I think they're going to start attacking. It might not be the same personnel, but they're going to keep the attack going.
Well, the kickoff receiving team has all the starters in. Here's a pooch kick to the right, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 37-yard line of the Wildcats. So it's either Brawley's ball at the 37 or at the 35. Can you verify?
You know, Ronnie, I'm going to have to keep going back throughout this broadcast. You know, how can you forget with the 2004 linemen? You had Cameron, you had Leo Ibarra, you had Ramirez, you had Ethan Shook. I mean, these guys I remember because a lot of them I coached in the Pop Warner. I mean, once I mention the lineman stuff just starts coming back to me. So, you know, it's just football talk. This is what we do in the back of a tailgate. This is what we do at parties. This is, you know, if we go to parties.
This is what we're all about. That's Brawley football for the tradition. And you just mentioned the linemen. Those are unsung heroes. And, you know, one of the kids you named Shug. Shug was one of the best swimmers Brawley ever had. Shug.
I seen him lately.
I mean, I'll tell you, he had a great career swimming. Not only was he a great lineman, a great swimmer. Okay, here we go. We still have Ethan Gutierrez at quarterback. He's under center. No, I checked that. That is Dawson Figueroa, and the give is back. Looks like we do have some reserves in. The offensive line is changed up. We have Arturo Rios, number 58, is in. Our quarterback, the quarterback for the Wildcats is Dawson Figueroa. He's come to get this call from Brandon Young.
You know.
And it's about, 10:49 remaining, 44-0. The ball's at the 43-yard line. Brawley's, as you said, the running clock. Everybody, the day's off now. Everybody's got the day off now. Basically, the night off. Let's say the night off. Here we go. Under center, it's going to be a tight set all the way, I believe. Wing formation, we have Julio Frutos in motion. The give is to Isaiah Young. That's Brandon Young's youngest son. He is a sophomore, good running back. Had a little bit of injury with his elbow. Start of this season, came back the last few weeks and has been running very strong at the JV level. They brought him up for this game, along with Tony Adiaga, Jonathan Garcia, So those are the kids that were brought up to play. And I'm trying to see what number they gave to the kids. There's Jonathan Garcia's number 71. He's a sophomore playing. Frutos. Julio Frutos, number 27. He's a junior. He is on the varsity, floats up and down. So everybody's in there. I see Dominic Santana is still in there.
But the Coloca's out on the sideline. Ronnie, what are we expecting out of that JV team for next year?
Well, what we're expecting from the JV team coming up, this kids that'll be juniors, that are sophomores right now, we have, let me tell you something, we have a very good size offensive line that are still learning. That's kind of maybe the only downside they have is that they're still learning how to block. They're still learning how to be good offensive linemen. But we feel by the time next year rolls around, they're going to be ready. And we need to be ready because we're going to miss a lot of kids. Coloca's gone. Martinez is gone. You know, we got to fill a lot of holes. And we feel that the kids coming up can do it. So Tony Arriaga is the center. That's number 74. So here's a first-hand look at one of them right there. The center is Tony Arriaga. He's a sophomore. Figueroa Dawson is at quarterback. The motion is in the pitches to Frutos. Frutos at the 45. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Cuts back at the 30. Falls forward to the 27. Frutos been dying to run the ball. He finally got a taste of the ball. Maybe now he'll be quiet and he talks in the third person. Can Frutos run the ball? That's all I hear. Coach, can Frutos run the ball? Well, there you go, Frutos.
Ron, you love seeing that, right?
I love it, man, because guess what? The JV has got to be the hardest level to be at as a player and coach. Why? Because you're feeding the varsity guys. You know, we never see the best freshmen because they go up to varsity. All the good sophomores go to varsity. The good juniors go to varsity. So we get stuck with the kids that need to develop, and Frutos is one of them. You're going to hear a lot of good things about Frutos next year. Under center is Figueroa. Frutos again in motion. The give is to Isaiah Young. Young up the middle.
Now, is Isaiah
That's
Young,
a 5-yard gain right there. Good run.
Now, is Isaiah Young going to be a Brandon Young type of runner, or is he going to
No,
be a Kurt Rubin type of runner?
I'm going to tell you, he has his own style. Just like any running back, you can never copy, blueprint, copy someone else. He's a glider. I kind of call him a glider. He hits the hole. He gets in there quick, and then before you know it, he's off to the races because he glides in and out of the holes. Right now, you're going to see this right now. Not very big, not sturdy yet. He's still growing. He's only a sophomore, but you can tell the kid can put muscle on and some weight.
So is he quicker or is he faster, Ron?
He's quick, not very fast yet. I'd like to see him run some track.
Well, with Marshall Taggart as a track coach and you helping out the track program, I mean, those are some of the things that you work on with some of the football players that are on
we're trying to, promote track, and track does help you run. If you're not playing baseball and anybody out there listening, you need your kids to get in shape. Come out here, run some track on the Brawley track program. It's up and coming. We're doing very well. So, it's great for other sports.
And now that we're talking about other sports right now, congratulations to the girls volleyball last night for beating Imperial. Brawley Wildcat volleyball team were co-champions from Imperial Valley. They beat Imperial yesterday with, I believe the score was 4-1 sets. So congratulations to the Brawley Wildcats women's volleyball team.
Congratulations.
3-1. Sorry, the sets were 3-1.
Well, just as we were talking right now about the volleyball team, Isaiah Young ran one of the plays I just said, the glide movement. He hits the hole. Before you know it, he's got 5-6 yards ahead of you. So that's good enough for a first down for the Wildcats. They are at the Bulldog 14-yard line, knocking on the door. Adiaga is the center. We have Cody Kopnick, I believe, is still in there. No, he's not. That is Dominic Santana at left guard. Jonathan Garcia is the left tackle. There's a pitch to Isaiah. He's back. There he goes, fighting hard. I'm telling you, he fights hard. He's running the ball up to the 5-yard line. Like I tell you, right there, bam, 8 yards. Didn't look like much, but he slithered, slide, whatever you want to say. Nice run, Isaiah, 5-yard line.
And one of the things that I'm liking about him, Ronnie, he's still playing the first string on the Calexico Bulldogs. One of the things I like about Young is that once he gets hit, he's still going to, he's still getting those 2-3 yards after he's getting touched.
Yes, he is.
So that's important to see out of a true sophomore, right?
True sophomore. Here we go. Arturo Rios is a right tackle. Under center, Fruto's in motion. The pitch is to Frutos. Is Frutos going to cash in? He does all the way. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Touchdown number 10, Luis Frutos. Luis said, Coach, please get my name right. I don't know why everybody's calling him Fernando or Fernie, Julio. Well, I said, okay, Fernando.
How can you get that?
It's Luis Frutos. So touchdown, Luis Frutos. There you go. Watch us on archives.
That's one of the good things, Ronnie. You have such a good relationship with the kids at all levels. So that's one of the things that I love and VSN loves about you. I mean, the communication you have with the kids, not just the kids that you're coaching right now, but Ron, when we see the kids that you coached in the prior years, I mean, but you've always had that. I mean, that's just one of the admirations that everybody. I talked to Paul Reese today, and he was. We were kidding about because you happen to coach their kids, their boys.
I coach all their boys.
Yeah, and we were talking, hey, how's Ron doing? He was asking about you. By the way, he said to say hello to you.
Thank you.
And it's just good to have that communication that you've always had with the kids, Ron.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's just been a privilege to do what we do for Brawley football. So that's a touchdown there. Now it's 51-0, 5:05 remaining. The clock is ticking. Heredia will kick. We do not have a backup kicker. But we have a kid on the JV that's, he's got some big shoes to fill next year, but I believe he'll do it. Haro's on the JV. Now, Haro, I don't know if that's your first name or last name, but it's a very cool name, Haro. Haro's a very good soccer player. Here's Xavier, set to kick, deep to receive for the Bulldogs. And that's 26. He's had problems all night. He's having it again. Heroes Paredes. Now he's up at the 40. Little makeup for the mishaps he's had. Two fumbled attempts at a kickoff.
That was a kicker knock. That was Pareda knocking him down, number 39. I mean, the only thing is he didn't stick him, though. He was trying to strip that ball, Ronnie.
Paredia, I'll tell you what, Paredia had him on the JV as a kicker, and he was a great outside linebacker. Good outside linebacker, learning the sport. Like I said, now these kids coming up from the soccer team kicking for us, Paredia is one of the kids that wanted to play other positions.
And by that, you mean what?
He wanted to play defense.
Did he just want to play, you mean?
Yeah, he wanted to play. He knew he was a kicker, and we usually have them off in the corner kicking by themselves.
Well, that's kind of
But
rare.
now on the JV, we let him play scout defense. So here's a gift to Gonzalez. Now nothing. So we still have the first stringers on defense. That's Chavez and Nathan May on the stop.
Yeah.
That play's not fooling anybody.
Hey, Nathan May, for the last 4 or 5 games, Ronnie.
Coming on strong.
Coming on strong. And what a time to come on strong and not stop, especially going into the Bell game. We're going to start talking about the Bell game a little bit. Me and Ronnie have had the privilege and opportunity and the excitement that it's carried to have watched the El Centro Spartans in Texas, which was a fabulous experience for all of us at VSN. And then we had the opportunity last week to watch them against a very tough, well-coached Imperial team. So we're going to start giving you our thoughts about that. We got a lot of things, VSN. You will see a lot of things on Facebook. You will see a lot of things on Instagram if you go to VSN Sports on some good subjects coming up about the Bell game, as we have an interception by the Brawley Wildcats, and I believe that's going to be one of the seniors on the team. That's going to be Chavez intercepting that ball and returning it at 4 yards, Ronnie.
Well, that was a great, it was a catch and throw. Morales to number 9. Jaime Castro, good throw. And, Castro's not a very small kid. Ball was tipped in the air. Great play by Chavez. And like I said, all these turnovers, the kids are in the spot.
Yeah.
They're there. They're doing their job. They're not floating around somewhere else. They're where they're supposed to be.
And good things are going to happen when you're in the right position.
When you hustle and you do your assignment. So first and 10 for the Wildcats. The ball now is placed at the Bulldog 36-yard line. Under center is Dawson Figueroa. We're in the tight set, motion Frutos. They give us to Isaiah Young. Young going to battle for about 3 yards. 3 yards when he was hitting the back of the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we had a good surge from the offensive line, and it looks like the wall was moving to the right, and we had somebody come in from the opposite side and actually tackle him from behind, because that whole wall on the right side was still surging that Calexico line back. So they were, stepping back on that, enabling them to get at least, 3 yards on that carry, Ron.
Brawley walking up to the line of scrimmage. They're not in a hurry to go anywhere. The ball is placed at let's say the 34-yard line of the Bulldogs. Frutos in motion to give us to Young. Young cuts back, go up the middle again, falls forward. Everything's positive yardage right now. Gets hit and still falls forward for a 3rd and 5.
One of the things you're going to see when you get positive yards, and this is one of the things we talked about pregame, Ronnie, when the score being 51-0, the running clock is big difference, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you have less than a minute. You have about 45 seconds left, and it won't stop even in the 4th quarter. It'll just keep going right here. And they do this for safety reasons.
Right.
There's a lot of good reasons why they do it. They just don't do it, to get anybody mad or upset or so that they can score, because with the score being 51-0, you still got to respect the other team.
It's sportsmanship, and, it's called the merge. Here's Frutos again with the pitch, and Calexico with the tackle. There's number 58, Sunshine Soltero. Good play by Soltero. And I've been looking for number 31 for the Bulldogs, and that's Diego Santarin. And that's his first play he's made tonight. And Santarin, I've been watching film on him. He's been one of the best defensive players. Pretty quiet tonight. Nice to see him make a tackle on Frutos there. 4th down for the Wildcats. The ball's now at the 33-yard line, right hash. And I think that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter, Will.
That's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. So while we have a little bit of time in between quarters, I'd like to once again go over some of the people that have been supporting us all year. Garcia and Priest, your certified public accountant, supporting your Brawley Wildcats. Vesey Farms, since 1923, supporting all Imperial Valley athletes. Desert RV for all your off-road trailer needs. Go see Joel, located on East Main and Brawley. Also, Elms Equipment for all your heavy equipment needs, located in Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. And then you have Radfin at Driscoll's, your one-stop shop for fishing tackle and apparel. And Ronnie, one of the other things I'd also give a shout out is to Ryan Revelar and Elms Equipment for being really. They helped us out last week with the lift.
Sure did.
I really appreciate that, the Hubert family and everybody down there at Elms. So please, if you guys visit Elms for whatever reason, tell them, hey, you know what? Thank you very much for being able to have VSN have a quality video presented to them from the El Centro Imperial game.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Here we go. 4th down for the Wildcats. It's now a 4th down and 6. Ball is at the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs. The pitch is to Isaiah Young. Isaiah Young to the right. He's going to go in. 10, 5. Touchdown, Isaiah Young. And I'm very happy. Or, yes, it is.
Yeah, no, it is. Ron, one of the things I knew he had the quickness, but right there he showed us he had a little bit of speed there.
He had breakaway speed. Yeah. You know, he had a big game last week against Southwest, which the JV won 36-0. And he had some big plays, and he's displaying. He's been hurt. That's the deal. He was hurt for the first 5 games of the season, barely coming on. So that's a touchdown. That makes it 57-0. Set to kick is Paredio. Torres with the hold. Good blocking, good running. And it's a touchdown, and the kick is up, and it's good. 11:07 remaining. Brawley 58, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
And right now I'm going to give you some schedules for the Brawley Youth Football Program. Tomorrow, October 26th, in the quarterfinals, you're going to have the Junior Pee-wees in Parker versus Parker. Pee-wees in Hopeville, and they will be facing the Shadow Hills football team, American Youth Football Team, at 9 a.m. The Cadets have advanced to the semifinals next Saturday, November 2nd, in Coachella, and they will be playing Kingman at 11 a.m. Once again, that's in Coachella, and that will be the semifinals. And the Junior Midgets have also advanced to the semifinals, and that would be Saturday, November 2nd at Shadow Hills in Indio, and they will be playing the home city of Shadow Hills at 9 a.m., and that'll be next Saturday, November 2nd. So I know it's a way to travel. It's Shadow Hills, but please, if you can't go that far, please support AYF or your local high school anytime you can, please. These kids really, they love the support that they get.
Future Wildcats. So the ball goes off the hands of number 27, Gonzalez, into the end zone. That ball will be brought back to the 20-yard line. So good kick by Paredia. And now let's see what our team, we're going to have a whole bunch of reserves in, 9:44 remaining.
And this is going to be good for both sides. I mean, I hope Calexico brought a lot of juniors on the team, and with the program that they have with a good, I believe, a good freshman squad. You know, I hope they're in the process of building. The only bad thing is, Ron, that they've been building for a while now. Well, they can't seem to get over that hump.
It's been a 4-year stint by Mr. Tyree. He's had him for 4 years. You know, you're hoping that by the 4th year you see a little turnaround. We haven't seen it yet. We keep saying they have a good freshman team. Last night they weren't that good enough. Our Brawley Wildcats went into Calexico, took care of business, 28-0. Tough team. Coach Bob Benson said, Ron, they were a pretty tough team. Brawley handled their business, and, you know, that's a good point, though. You know, Bob said they were pretty tough. Well, that's a good sign for Calexico. Being tough, we saw a little bit of them. Here's a completed pass and brought down by Mino Chavez, and a penalty on the field. Mino Chavez, number 33, good. He's a floater. He's a junior. Plays a little bit of JV ball with this. Good play there, Mino. But
good
a nice
tackle.
pass.
That was a good tackle.
Good tackle and a good pass completion there by Morales. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, and with the clock running, like I said, it doesn't even stop in the penalty section. So it's 8:30 left in the clock. And by the bottom of our clicker, the score still stands right now at 58-0.
58-0. The clock is ticking. Mercy rule has been in place since the 2nd quarter, I believe.
Yeah, and once again, I'd like to repeat, you will be seeing VSN, and please, I believe you will be seeing some never-before commercials coming out of VSN. I like giving dates, but I can't be sure, but I think my guy, Joaquin Matus, is telling me that they will be ready on Tuesday, and they're actually going to be first-time commercials that are very exciting to see. Especially for this Bell game coming up, Ron. I mean,
no,
I'm excited.
You're not giving out any little hints or secrets what's going on, who's in it. And
they haven't even told me. I'm not going to tell you who's in it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, motion for the Bulldogs. It's a jet sweep. It's number 3. That is
And he's
Frank Rosales. Frank is a kid that tried to take a good run there by number 3. I give the kid a badge of courage. Why? He tried to tackle Craig Baum that bowled him over, came back up, still in the ball game. Ball's at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and it's good to see people like Milo Chavez coming from the opposite side of his cornerback position go out there and push the Calexico Bulldog out of bounds, Ronnie.
Of the starters so far, I only see Nathan Mays, the only one outside linebacker out there still playing. We have,
and that's because we're short in personnel.
Probably,
there.
we're short out there, and it's. I wonder what happened to Mr. Salazar tonight.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even dressed up, though.
Not dressed up, so he's not in there. Arturo Rios is in at tackle. So is Skyas. Daniel Rodriguez is out there. Jojo Carrillo's out there, cornerback. Caleb Sealis. And here's a nice play by Nathan May. Nathan May just grabbed that kid, brought him down. Up on top, it looks like Hulu. Richard Ramirez got bullied over there by a couple of Bulldogs up on top. Number 24, come on, Richie. Don't let that happen. So here we go. Jojo Carrillo comes in at safety.
Yeah, you know, we're in the position right now where some of these kids are getting a little PT right now, Ron. And it's just good to see them playing well at this level right now. You know?
I mean, you're out there. You have to, like we said, alignment. That's where do I line up? And my assignment, what am I supposed to do? So here we go. Good tackle. Hey, JoJo. Was that JoJo?
Was that JoJo?
No, that was Isaiah Young. Isaiah Young, keep your head up, man.
No.
Didn't really care for
that. That was JoJo, 83, Ron.
83 or Joe. Here we go. Fourth down, I'm sorry. Fourth down, ran it up to the 20.
I want to see a pick by JoJo. I don't know if Calexico will throw the ball, but number 83, he's not. They're going to punt. They're going to go in punting formation. But, you know, I'd like to see one of those interceptions by JoJo. Nothing he does is at slow motion. That kid he hustles all the time, Ron.
He's going to be blocking one of the gunners down here, number 3, Jojo Carrillo, making sure he's lined up correctly. Back to receive is Isaiah Young. He's at the 47-yard line. The snap, the punt, it's good. It's off. Young is going to field it at the 47, and he is going to get to the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the he's all the way up to the 34-yard line. Great effort by Isaiah Young, and you know what? I hope he slows down a little bit. I need him for Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday night. Talk to me about Wednesday night. What are you expecting on that JV team?
Well, that's going to be a tough game. It's Brawley JV versus the El Central Spartans.
Ronnie, it's going to be Wednesday night, not
Wednesday
Thursday?
night, no. You know, this funky little calendar they came up with, and yes, I'm griping about it. I don't know why we play on a Wednesday night. They give us 2 days to prepare, Monday, Tuesday, play Wednesday. The freshmen are on the same schedule, and then the game was on Friday. I don't know what. I don't know if it has something to do with being on the field or who knows what it is.
What's happening also, you have the Axe game being played on Thursday.
Right.
So it kind of – I can see the reason why they're doing that, Ron. And I like it as a football fan. I kind of like it. I know it hurts you guys, but just know this, that El Centro's practicing 2 days too.
That's right. Okay, here's Young again. Young up the middle, runs off the left side of the offensive line, takes it all the way up to the 26-yard line. Isaiah Young running pretty hard. Dawson Figueroa is our quarterback, number 25. He is the starting quarterback for the JV. And he's not necessarily the backup quarterback for the varsity. I believe that job still belongs to Nathan Torres. Second down and 2 from the 26-yard line. Clock is winding down. Brawley's taking their time.
Yeah, they're using all the time that they're allowed on the clock. One of the things we're going to go out of this game, Ron, we're going to go out of here healthy, and that is key. Now, we see – but
that's David Palacio, 51. That's one of our kids. I need him healthy for Wednesday night. Looks like he got a hand injury there.
Well, there ain't nothing tape can't fix, Ronnie. Tape will fix that.
The ball is given to, that looks like Richard Ramirez, 24. He's going to gain about a couple of yards, enough for a first down. This will definitely be the last drive. Carlos Alvarado in, Camargo out.
Yeah, this will probably be the last series. Well, you know what, Ron? Unless they score, then who knows what'll happen on that. And I'm all for it. This is the backup to the starters. So if they score, this is not rubbing it in on one bit.
It's not. I mean, You're playing against a first-string defense. As we said from the start, Calexico is undermanned. They don't have much reserves on the sidelines. Fruto's motion to give it to Ramirez. Ramirez falls down to the 19. Second down. 2nd and 6. Well, will all roads lead to El Centro, brother?
Listen, those 12 miles, like Evangelist said, those 12 miles, like Steve Evangelist said and Joe Evangelist said during our interview at halftime last week, which was a great, those guys I admire.
Yeah,
they're great people. When you talk about Central Spartans, you talk about the Evangelists. Now, the Wildcats, I can guarantee you one thing, Ron. The stands are going to be packed. I can guarantee you they are going to be packed. So we need to drive ourselves those 12 miles. The Brawley fans need to go down there, drive and support your Brawley Wildcats. I mean, we'll be there representing VSN. We're going to have a great time. We're looking forward to it. I mean, right after, as soon as that clock says 0-0 run, it's
bell game.
It's bell
week.
game. It's bell week. We start tonight at my house. We start preparing for the bell game, and that's the way it's been. Every fan, every player that's ever wore the blue and gold or the Spartan blue and white know what this is about. This whole week, that's what the whole talk and this whole valley is going to be out. At every place at work, there's going to be little side bets going on over lunch or whether who wins the title or not. Of course, Central has held it for the last 2 years, but listen, right here on this same field, Brawley had its opportunity. We went in here limping, Ronnie, and Coach Self put him in a position to win that game. That's his job. He did his job. So, and I don't expect nothing less. And now he's going in healthy. John Self, to me, there's a little different vibe going on with Coach Self, man. I mean, this guy feels very confident. I kind of like it.
Both teams are evenly matched. It's going to be an even ball game, and it's like they say, whoever makes the fewest mistakes is going to win that ball game.
Yeah, and
guaranteed.
You know what, Ronnie? Coach Self's not going to surprise Coach Pena. Coach Pena's not going to surprise
Nobody's
Coach.
hiding. There's no secret.
There's no secret.
There's nothing going on.
We're going to let the kids play it out in the field.
That's how you do it. That's
what's
Brawley
going to
football
happen.
for you. So with that being said, folks, Brawley takes care of their business with a 58-0 drubbing of the Calexico Bulldogs. Congratulations to Coach Self and his staff.
Yeah, he did what he wanted to do.
We're now 7-2, 4-0 in league. As we said, all roads, all paths lead to El Centro. The team from the north, the team from the south. The showdown, it starts ticking. Hand me a tissue. Now. I'm starting to cry.
Listen, one of the good things it's good to see as I look over the crowd here, it's good to see Rusty Garcia. He's a Brawley board member. It's good to see him out here. Not only for this game, Ron, I've seen him out here for the JV and freshman game. So, I'm not saying the other people aren't here, but it's just good to peek out and see Rusty Garcia.
Rusty's a great supporter, you know,
and especially on senior night, and I'm sure that they all appreciate it. It's a beautiful night. We hope to see. Now, there's a lot of games being played on Thursday night, so it won't just be a Brawley fan base, Central fan base. I mean, it's a bell game as it is, but we're going to get teams from, people from El Centro and everybody else. So it's going to be a great game. And so we really appreciate it. Tony Leone, we appreciate his hospitality. Chaka, as always. Will Torres, Mr. Hall of Famer, Sarah on the camera, Joaquin, and our highlight crew. Really appreciate them. They are at Imperial and Southwest game tonight in Imperial. You will be seeing highlights from them this weekend, as you will see our archives on our website, vsnsports.net. So, from Warren Field, Will Torres, Ron Rubio, good night. Bell game starts now.
Woo!